Well, I agree with you, Mark. I think that the problem with this well-intentioned formality before the game is that it can become counterproductive and can, for the wrong reasons, become too much of a spotlight. Anyway, Manchester United line up to the left, Liverpool to the right. Luis Suarez is the penultimate in line for Liverpool, I think. I think Reina is going to go on his outside, and the Liverpool players will walk down the line of the Manchester United players. Steven Gerrard first with Patrice Evra. They, of course, are the two captains. And, well, I mean, all eyes are on Luis Suarez at the moment, shaking hands with the officials. There was eventually a handshake with Patrice Evra, and well, I'm really not sure what happened there. And the referee, Phil Dowd, had to step in. I think it was a hand pulled away, first of all, and then almost a half-hearted clench afterwards, and that really didn't work, Jan, did it?
Well, I think what happened there was Suarez ignored Evra. He walked straight past him, wanted to shake hands with the goalkeeper, and Evra grabbed his arm and said, "Shake with me, let's move on."
Well, that hasn't really helped, and, you know, in fact, we're getting a replay of it now. Suarez, it's difficult to see exactly. I think your reading was right, that Suarez, did you think Suarez pulled his hand away, first of all? No?
I don't think they shook hands.
They didn't shake hands at all.
Suarez was shaking the hand of the goalkeeper, and Evra grabbed his forearm, but Suarez never looked at him and never shook his hand.
Well, we also think Rio Ferdinand.
Well, I was far too busy looking at other things,
yes,
Mike. But I'm sure we'll see it all again. But no doubt in my mind that the two players, Suarez and Evra, did not shake hands.
That doesn't augur well at all for the game. And I mean, the thing is that I don't think anybody agrees with what Sepp Blatter said about a handshake can sort everything out. But at least it would have been a step in the right direction and the start of the healing process. But, you know, you would have imagined, Jan, that both Kenny Dalglish and Sir Alex Ferguson would have spoken to the teams and the players before the game, made them aware of the sensitivity. 70,000 people here, that's not what was required.
No, absolutely not. But I also know Kenny Dalglish as a person, and he would have had a word with Suarez, but I also think he would have said, ultimately, it is your decision. You do what you feel is right. Now, we all have to assume what we saw there today was not what was needed.
I've got to say as well, having seen that really has to make people think even more now about this handshake situation that we have before the game. Why do we need it?
Well, I don't know why we need it. And there's every chance, isn't there, at the start of the new Premier League season, hopefully we won't see it again, because the last thing we need just before a game like that. He's now having a little chat and a laugh with Wayne Rooney, Suarez.
Yes, I can see that Suarez and Rooney are having a little giggle there.
But of course the problem is not between those two.
The damage has been done.
Yeah, the damage has been done. Spot on.
Liverpool in white shirts today, Manchester United as ever in their famous red. United will play from left to right in the first half. They will attack the Stretford end in the second half. It was all just a little confusing, but I think we've got it right there, that in the end there was no handshake at all. And in fact, even worse than that, there was a bit of afterplay.
Well, there was
a
reaction, wasn't there? There was a reaction from Evra, because I think Evra was ready to move on. Yes. And as you rightly pointed out, the referee then got involved because there was a little bit of pushing. But we're now ready to kick off.
Well, I'll give you the lineups in just a moment. By the way, I should tell you that the players today are wearing black armbands, the Manchester United players, because, of course, on February the 6th, just a few days ago, that was the 54th anniversary of the Munich disaster, which is being marked here today. So, Liverpool, who've made 4 changes from the Spurs game on Monday. I'll give you their lineup in a moment. Suarez chases the ball for the first time. Across comes Ferdinand. Ferdinand clashes with his own player, Patrice Evra, and Johnny Evans is there and avoids the back pass to De Gea. And there's a United player down injured, and it's Rio Ferdinand, I think, already, after that clash with one of his own players.
Well, they were very unsure, weren't they, the two Manchester United defenders? It was Evra and Ferdinand going for the same ball. And in the end, the ball falls to Steven Gerrard. And you think, because it was Kaut and Suarez 2 against 1 against Johnny Evans, and a better pass. It was a poor Steven Gerrard pass. It was a real opportunity for Liverpool. Evra and Ferdinand ran into each other, and then Gerrard's forward pass, not good enough.
If you're just joining us, and to be honest, this is the last thing that I wanted to dwell on today. I didn't want the handshake to be much talked about in the spotlight, but it's disappointing that there wasn't one at all between the two players. Rio Ferdinand at the moment's got a bit of an injury problem. The United lineup today looks like this: De Gea, Rafael, Ferdinand, Evans and Evra, Valencia, Carrick, Scholes, Giggs, Rooney and Welbeck. Still Ferdinand receives attention, and they're just looking to see whether somebody else is going to have to come on from the sideline to help. Phil Dowd just turns round to the fourth official. The Liverpool lineup is Reina, Johnson, Skrtel, Agger and Enrique, spearing Gerrard Henderson, Count, Suarez and Downing. Did you get another view of that?
Yeah, we did. I mean, it's quite a nasty collision between Evra and Ferdinand. Suarez was the Liverpool player going for the ball, and I think because it was Suarez, Evra is thinking, I've got to have a bit of this, and he's got involved when it looked like Rio Ferdinand might have had the situation under control. They collided, and Rio Ferdinand actually ended up landing on his head. Quite nasty.
Well, judging by the body language as well before the game, I imagine Ferdinand might have thought he wanted a bit of it as well. But anyway,
but I don't think
on.
Evra should have kept his position as a left back to give him a bit of shape. Ferdinand could have dealt with it. In the end, if a better Gerrard pass would have been there, Liverpool would have been in.
Jan Molby's with us here at Old Trafford. It was always going to be feisty, as now Johnson breaks down the Liverpool right-hand side and the shot is drilled in, and it's an easy save at the near post for De Gea. Now the half-time score is going to reach us now from Roddy Forsyth. Dunfermline Rangers.
Dunfermline 1, Rangers 2. Andy Kirk giving Dunfermline the lead. David Hilley and Lee McCulloch, the makeshift attack for Rangers, responding with the goals. That means that in Scotland the champions are leading at half-time. Dunfermline 1, Rangers 2.
Thank you, Roddy. Liverpool have had the majority of the ball so far. Gerrard and Johnson down the right-hand side, and then Count turns it back to Skrtel, who's had a really consistent season for Liverpool, really made that position his own alongside Agger. Carragher still on the bench, and now a good ball into midfield to the unmarked Spearing, who of course is Lucas's deputy. This is a good start from Liverpool. Ball down the right hand side now with Glenn Johnson. Suarez lurking inside the penalty area. Johnson taking his time, then the cross doesn't come in from him, and it was poor play from the fullback. Valencia's helping out the defenders. Rafael now with a loose ball, and United haven't settled down at all. Liverpool have it back once more with Agger just inside his own half. United 0, Liverpool 0. And an absolutely farcical attempt to shake hands really between Evra and Suarez. We think Evra was interested, Suarez wasn't. Suarez now on the edge of the area. He has the ball taken away from him by Rafael, and I don't think Manchester United have crossed the halfway line yet. The ball is with Patrice Evra, and the United fans obviously are cheering him. Welbeck now on the halfway line, surrounded by white shirts. Here comes Welbeck with a good change of pace. Welbeck still for Manchester United. Tries to find Valencia, does find Valencia just inside the penalty area. 3 Liverpool players around him. The chip comes in. Oh, Reina almost dropped that at Rooney's feet, and then holds on to it second time round.
Yeah, as you rightly say, it's the first time we've seen Manchester United in Liverpool side. It was a great run by Welbeck. In the end, he's probably gone past 4 or 5 Liverpool players. Good pass out to Valencia, and Valencia, as he always does, he always manages to get a cross in, and it was almost Rooney at the far post.
This is 5 Live at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0, and I said to Jan when we saw what happened down there, whether Kenny Dalglish and Sir Alex Ferguson couldn't have really made sure everything was sorted, but of course I have to say Kenny Dalglish's comments after the game on Monday haven't exactly cooled things down here, saying that Suarez should never have been suspended in the first place. Anyway, he's back after suspension, he's starting here, and Manchester United are trying to get started. Rooney onto Welbeck, good take from the young striker. Welbeck moving away from Liverpool players, Henderson being one of them. Welbeck finds Valencia, cross comes Enrique quickly to try and close him down. United getting into a bit of a groove now. Carrick, who's been in really good form lately, good ball onto Rooney, Rooney to Welbeck, back again to Rooney. He wanted to hit it, but he's just had it taken away from him, and now Valencia down the right hand side, doing well against Enrique, goes down in the area, flag signals. Was the foul outside or inside?
He's definitely given a free kick, there's no doubt about that. The assistant referee has not put his flag across his chest either. It's a free kick.
Just outside.
But what a danger man he is, Valencia. I mean, he's a super wide man. Goes at his fullback, gets by him, puts in crosses. This time, Enrique's forced to foul him just outside the penalty area.
Well, Enrique came across very quickly, aware of the danger, but there was nothing he could do about it there with Valencia. Valencia had too many tricks for him. So Evans goes into the penalty area. Only Rio Ferdinand stays back, though I think he wants a bit of extra cover. It's a free kick for Ryan Giggs, right on the edge of the area. Near side, the United right. Reina poised. All the Liverpool players back. Great support for the home side. Giggs prepares. A real danger here for Liverpool. With only 6 minutes gone in the first half. Referee Phil Dowd is ready. Here comes the free kick, taken by Giggs. Great header away by Johnson, I think it was, who got the important header defensively. And so it'll be a corner to Manchester United far side.
Delivered into a great area by Ryan Giggs. I mean, we know he's got that quality. Saw the cross last week against Chelsea. Similar cross here. Super defending to the far post by Glenn Johnson. Had to make that header his own.
So having taken the free kick, Giggs will now take this Manchester United corner. 0-0 at Old Trafford, early stages of the game. Ryan Giggs waits. And here comes the corner from Ryan Giggs, which is headed on by Carrick. Rooney's header down, easy pick up for Reina. And Reina comes right to the edge of his area now to clear for Liverpool with a good throw. Throws to the halfway line, but Scholes volleys the ball back inside the Liverpool half. Here come Liverpool now with Downing near side, just in front of us on the left. Into Spearing in midfield. Liverpool made a bright start. Rooney against Gerrard, and Rooney's taken the ball away from Gerrard. It's Michael Carrick for Valencia. Bit tight for United near side. It doesn't work out. And Gerrard now should have got forward for Liverpool, but he presents it straight to Scholes. Manchester United defensively have it, and it's with Evans once more, just about 10 yards from the halfway line. 0-0 at Old Trafford on 5 Live. Long ball across the field. Appeal for handball by Kaut against Evra, not given by Phil Dowd. Scholes inside the centre circle. Scholes just biding his time, looking to select the right pass. Carrick and Scholes combining. Almost lost it there to Suarez. Carrick again, just inside Liverpool's half, and having had none of the ball really in the first 3 or 4 minutes, Manchester United now starting to get more possession. Kenny Dalglish, we can see just down there alongside the cameraman in his technical area, pointing.
I think he's just pointing to the fact that Ryan Giggs, although he started on the left, he's now starting to drift into that hole just in front of Jay Spearing and just making Liverpool midfield players aware.
Good passing by Manchester United. Enrique's got away with a challenge on Rafael. What did you think of that?
I think it was a foul. I think most people inside the ground feel the same way. Referee decided to play on.
The pitch looks, I don't know, a little bit tufty.
Yeah,
here.
it is a little bit,
The ball
isn't
is
it?
not travelling.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. I don't know whether it's, a lot of rain or whatever, and it's a little bit soft. I know, kicking up in 1 or 2 places.
Dirk Kuyt has now gone down over on the far side. I noticed that when Rooney was shaping to shoot and then the ball just seemed to hit a divot or something a little earlier, Rooney's now speaking to Phil Dowd. Kuyt is back on his feet again, and it's a Liverpool free kick. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0, and for any latecomers, there was a farcical attempt really to make the peace between Evra and Suarez before the game. We thought from here, at least Jan thought, that Evra offered his hand. Suarez didn't want to know. Then there was some afterplay, and it really wasn't what was required here to settle things down. And it does raise questions now about that whole ceremony before the game, I think, whether we need it. It's a clearance from Agger into Gerrard, headed on by Gerrard, but a loose one from Gerrard, and Evans is there now to knock the back rather innocuously, that ball back into the Liverpool half, and now it's Downing. We've got a postponement. Barnsley and Birmingham is off because of a frozen pitch at Oakwell. So don't go there. Barnsley and Birmingham is off. Here, good ball from Henderson to the Liverpool captain Gerrard. Suarez straight away to the far side. An excellent ball to Johnson. Now danger for Manchester United. Glenn Johnson for Liverpool. Oh, it got a deflection and just might have hit a Liverpool player, I think. And it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, it's the whole setup of the Manchester United team, isn't it? With, I assume that Giggs is the man who's going to play wide left, and defensively he just doesn't get back in position quick enough. And this time again, Glenn Johnson comes inside on his left foot. The whole goal opens up for him, and he's just trying to bend it into that far corner. And we're talking, just misses the far.
Well, they're
post.
not picking him up, are they?
They're not at all.
I'm surprised Mike Phelan has come out now, Sir Alex Ferguson's.
But what they possibly
right-hand
can
man.
do, they could ask either Rooney or Welbeck to go and play on the left when they don't have the ball. But there's a lot of room over there for Glenn Johnson.
Main source of danger at the
and
moment.
you know he's an attacking fullback, And
it was a good ball from Suarez as well to find Johnson. Now Giggs is running a long way with the ball. Eventually Rafael takes over by the corner flag. Enrique this time makes a clean interception and clears for Liverpool. Big gap between the midfield and Suarez. Looked like a little nudge on Suarez there by Evans, and Ferdinand tidies up. So Johnson, who played at left back the other night against Spurs, is the main danger for Liverpool at the moment in these opening 10 minutes. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 at Old Trafford. Scholes and Giggs linking up together as ever in midfield. Jan telling you that Ryan Giggs began on the left-hand side, but is playing much more centrally now, and Kenny Dalglish is trying to address that problem. Danny Welbeck, always good movement from him. United just biding their time inside the Liverpool half. Now it's back with Evans, and Carrick in the end decides no way to go forward. So it's back again with the goalkeeper De Gea. 2 Spanish goalkeepers obviously today. De Gea, who made a great save late on at Chelsea last week, and of course Pepe Reina for Liverpool. Paul Scholes now almost lost that to Suarez. In fact, he's given it away, and here comes Downing now for Liverpool, near side the left. Needs some support, lifts the ball in towards Gerrard, who controls it well. Spearing, and again this huge gap for Glenn Johnson down the right hand side. United not addressing that problem. Kaut back again to Johnson. Gerrard now comes into the movement. Gerrard looking for a 1-2 here with Kaut. Kaut trying to move the ball on to Johnson. This time tidying up his Giggs. Evans has to be quick with the clearance and just manages to get it out of the penalty area. And now we see Valencia in possession. Valencia, square ball for Carrick. And now Rafael onto Valencia. Valencia moving quickly into the Liverpool half. Back comes Henderson. Valencia goes down and wins the free kick. Phil Dowd blows up. I think he was just seeing whether United were going to get an advantage. It is a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, credit to Valencia and to the referee. Valencia wanted to try and play on. The referee wanted the game to go on. In the end, he had to give the foul.
Giggs,
just going back to the Glenn Johnson thing, it's quite incredible, isn't it, how much room he's got. Dirk Kuyt takes Evra out of the way, and then that whole right side is Glenn Johnson's.
Well, of course, when Liverpool won the game late on in the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago, it was Evra out of position, which allowed Kuyt to go through to score the winning goal. And so far, that's where Liverpool are doing all their damage. Suarez, he went in to try and win the header low down. Evans was committed. He's given a free kick for dangerous play against Johnny Evans, but Suarez was so low down, I'm not quite sure what Evans could have done about that.
No, it's one of those, isn't it? You know, sometimes you decide to play on, sometimes you give a foul, isn't it? They've both gone, as you rightly said. Suarez is low, Evans maybe a little bit too high. In the end, it goes Liverpool's way.
Phil Dowd, though, committed to the whistle, and Liverpool have a free kick. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. Nearly 13 minutes gone in the first half.
It's not one of those free kicks where you can put an awful lot of pressure on the goalkeeper, but they will get incidents like that late on in the game, Liverpool. This is not one of them.
Right, Agger and Skrtel have both made their way forward into the penalty area away to our left. De Gea has had problems sometimes dealing with balls in the air. Enrique's got a long way to go with this free kick, though. He's only just inside the Manchester United half. Liverpool attacking the Stretford end, and in goes the free kick. It's in towards Skrtel. A nice clearance over the shoulder from Evra. Manchester United have to back off once more. Good challenge by Scholes, though, on Spearing to close them down, and the ball is out of play for Liverpool's throw.
I still think we've already seen, though, this Manchester United team is better with the ball than without the ball. And when Liverpool start to pass it about and get confidence, it takes them a long time to get the ball back.
Manchester United need to win the game, obviously, with City playing at Villa tomorrow, needing to put pressure on Manchester City. Liverpool need to win the game if they're to keep up any realistic chance of playing in the Champions League. It's Giggs against Johnson, and Giggs now against Kaut, and Kaut working hard as ever to help Johnson down that right-hand side, and it's going to be a Manchester United throw-in. 0-0 here. Poor throw from Manchester United. It's back into Liverpool's midfield. Typical Gerrard ball there, outside of the foot, and Agger now goes into the Manchester United half. Almost stumbles on the ball. Finds Gerrard on his right-hand side. Gerrard to Suarez, and now this time it's Kaut, not Johnson, down the right-hand side. Kaut whips in the cross towards Henderson. Evans clears, only as far as Kaut once more. Kaut with another cross, and this one doesn't get anywhere at all. I was looking to see whether there was a deflection off somebody. There isn't. It's a goal kick for Manchester United.
You're right, it wasn't Glenn Johnson this time, but it was Kaut, and again, as much time and space as you would like. I find it amazing they haven't done something about that, Manchester United.
Andy Carroll's on the bench, by the way, today. So is Craig Bellamy. Plenty of options for Kenny Dalglish through the game. Manchester United have got Berbatov on the bench. They also have Cleverley back, and they've really missed him. He's been out for 3 months, and now United build on the edge of their own penalty area. It's Paul Scholes, little nudged ball down the right-hand side, and Rafael now picks it up on the halfway line. Into Scholes once more. Back again to Evans, but Liverpool are going to make life difficult for Manchester United. Everybody filtering back here. Carrick once more, thinking about whether it's a short or a long pass. It's a high, long one to the far side, which is chested off by Evra to Giggs. Giggs now into Rooney's feet. Rooney here with options left and right. At the moment he's faced by Spearing. Rooney being forced to hold, and now Giggs takes over. Slid the ball in behind Carrick. Liverpool can't really break here because there's such a huge gap between the midfield and Suarez, and Scholes and Giggs have got it back again for Manchester United. Evra made an early run. Now they eventually find him. He's going to try and turn Johnson here over on the far side. Still Patrice Evra. Johnson sticking tight. Now Giggs takes over, and Giggs will try and get a cross in. Almost got that for a corner kick, but it's tidied up by Skrtel, and Manchester United have a throw. Deep inside the Liverpool half. As ever, the Liverpool fans here today are perched away from our right, just over the corner flag there. And Evra now with this Manchester United throw-in. Don't forget all the action from all the games coming your way this afternoon, including commentary from a game at the other end of the table, Blackburn and Queen's Park Rangers. United take their throw, and it's Rio Ferdinand now onto Rooney. Good stretch by Rooney, but he's outnumbered by Liverpool players. Again, they can't counter-attack here, though, because of that gap between midfield and Suarez. Wasn't a great ball either towards Suarez. and Manchester United have it back once more. Ferdinand, who's 15 yards inside the Liverpool half, can't go forward, gives it back to Evans, and it's a cagey
it is
passage
very
of
much,
play at the moment.
absolutely. And as you rightly say, Liverpool are set up to counter-attack, but they can't quite do it at the moment because Downing and Count are so deep trying to help the full-backs, and therefore when they win the ball, the distance is simply too big.
Scholes, another beautifully measured pass for Giggs over on the left-hand side. Johnson trying to put pressure on Giggs, but it's back with Scholes in midfield. Welbeck now getting it away before Agger can threaten. Valencia now, who's tormented Enrique early on here. Still Valencia, overruns it though. Spearing is helping out Enrique, but Liverpool are trapped at the moment inside their own half. They can't get the players on the ball, they can't make any breakaway here, and they've given the ball away to Welbeck. Welbeck now sees Valencia available. Here comes Valencia for Manchester United. The cross hits Enrique on the backside, and it's a lucky break for Liverpool. It's not a corner. It hits the corner flag and goes for a throw-in only, right by the corner flag.
He's done well so far, Welbeck. Every time he's got involved, something has happened.
Throw to Manchester United. 17 and a half minutes gone. Raphael's running backwards with the ball at the moment, and Phil Dowd says take the throw-in from the required position.
Which is by the corner flag.
Exactly. So, here we go with the throw-in. Into Rooney, he's just on the edge of the penalty area. Raphael once more, it's very tight down this near side. Awkward ball for Agger to control, but he was there with the clearance. There's no way Suarez is going to get that, and Kenny Dalglish won't be happy at the moment that Liverpool are planting the ball straight back to Manchester United every time. It's Valencia again, full of tricks down the right. Good running from Raphael in the area, almost level-it shot in. Reina saw it late and made a good save.
Again, it was good play down the right. Valencia involved again, and Fabio was forward. And in the end, it's a shot, a left foot shot. I think Welbeck was unlucky. If he'd have got the slightest of touches on that, he might just have been diverted out the reach of Pepe Reina.
Well, Suarez hasn't had much of the ball recently. He almost had it there, and immediately you heard the reaction from the home fans here as Manchester United start moving once more, and they're starting to get more of a tempo from midfield now, aren't they?
And Suarez is isolated.
Scholes and Giggs and Carrick are starting to get control here in midfield. Giggs followed by 4 Liverpool players. They press well now, Liverpool, and now Gerrard gives the ball early this time to Count. Count's lay off to Suarez. Suarez lifts the ball over Evra. Now they can get a few more players forward. Count down the right hand side, lays the ball off to Suarez. Suarez just inside the penalty area, faced by the defenders, twisting and turning, and then beating himself in the end. There was no space for him anyway, and he couldn't get it in, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Well, I think what he does is he creates the space for the cross, but then he sees that there's only Stuart Downing in the penalty area. Liverpool are not getting men into the penalty box quickly enough.
Well, he can hardly complain in many ways about being booed here, Suarez, because he hasn't endeared himself to the crowd here. He's kind of brought it on himself, I think, by his reaction to Evra's attempt to shake hands. I mean, the handshake wouldn't have sorted everything out, but at least we would have moved on from it. But it's a talking point now. And it's, at the moment, still the biggest talking point because there's not a lot happening in the game at the moment.
No, it's what we've seen from Manchester United in the last few games. They've been pretty ineffective. At Anfield in the Cup game, dominated, but didn't create a lot of chances. Here against Stoke, and also at Chelsea last week, until they found themselves 3-0 down. They dominated the game, but ineffective, and we're seeing the same again.
Nearly 20 minutes gone, because Liverpool have done some good work on the road this season, some very impressive away wins. But they're not getting enough of the ball at the moment to threaten Manchester United. Welbeck with that lovely movement once more. Finds Raphael near side. This is the Manchester United right. And now Johnny Evans, and the fact that Evans and Ferdinand are both going inside the Liverpool half will tell you how much possession United are getting. Carrick steers it across to the far side. Count and Evra both miss it, and it goes away for a throw-in to Liverpool. But at the moment, the one thing I think in particular that will be vexing Kenny Dalglish will be the fact that when Liverpool do get hold of the ball and they do break up United, they're not holding on to it, Jan, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's disappointed with the shape of his 4 attacking midfield players, and I'm talking about Henderson, Gerrard, Count and Downing. They got to get their balance better. They got to get forward quicker. When Liverpool get the ball, they got to get forward and support Suarez much quicker than what they have done. Otherwise, the whole game is going to be played in Liverpool's half.
Of course, in the league game at Anfield, it was all about Jones in midfield shadowing Adam that day. Well, today, neither are playing. Adam's on the bench. Right. Jones is injured. This is another day, mid-February, and it's a game as we move towards the last third of the season that both sides need to win for different reasons now. But it's 0-0, and we need a goal from somebody really to open things up here. Johnny Evans of Manchester United. Down the centre, wayward from him, and Johnson steers the ball back to goalkeeper Reina once more. 21 and a half minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. Be interested to get Alan Green's take on that handshake fast before the game as he joins us in a moment as Ferdinand clears. Big high ball towards Valencia. Valencia's out jumped by Enrique. It's still fairly scrappy here. Ball not coming down on the ground for either of the two sides. It's still in the air. Now Spearing to Kaut. They haven't really had Gerrard on the ball enough either, Liverpool. That's a lovely one from the captain though. And again Johnson's in space down the right hand side. Johnson's ball, oh poor. Straight at goalkeeper De Gea. And well, that's wasted from Liverpool.
Absolutely. I mean, again, he was all that space on the right, and you think Johnson, take it forward, there's plenty of room. He decides to cross it, but a little bit too deep.
Lovely touch from Rooney to Valencia. Back again to Valencia, almost halfway through the second half. United build now through Giggs. Liverpool have to get tight here on Giggs. Giggs fired that ball in too strongly. Nobody in red could control it. It's the halfway point. It's 0-0. Halfway point of the first half, that is. And here's Alan Green.
Well, you wouldn't have heard what I said at 11:30 and 5 Live, Mike, which was basically to hammer the hypocrisy of this handshaking business, full stop, in general. I mean, players will shake each other's hands and then try to get their opponents sent off or try to kick their opponent all the time. It's a piece of nonsense which should be abandoned. What I saw of the incident before kick-off here was that Evra clearly had no interest in shaking Evra's hand. Suarez had no interest in shaking Evra's hand. Evra then put his hand on Suarez's arm to pull him back, and that's when the referee got involved. But it is just a piece of nonsense.
Yeah, and I think it will be done away with, Alan.
Well, are they listening?
Well, probably not.
Gerrard back to Agger. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0, and not a lot has happened in terms of goal threat. Perhaps that save that Reina made just a few minutes ago is the only sensible goal-bound effort of the game, and the shot from Johnson that went wide of De Gea's right hand upright. Gerrard, the Liverpool captain, takes up possession again, running towards the halfway line, finds Henderson, back to Gerrard. Henderson once more. Liverpool in their change strip today, white shirts with a blue flash, black shorts, and they're attacking the Stretford end. And Johnson comes forward again from fullback into Suarez. The pass back to Johnson was under hit. Scholes intercepted, and it's cleared out of play for a Liverpool throw-in.
Yeah, I think as soon as we get into the final third, there isn't a great deal happening. Players seem quite nervous. They're quite happy just to keep their shape, you know, make sure they don't get caught out of balance.
Agree totally with what Mike said, by the way. A draw suits neither side here. Liverpool on the attack. Everett seemed to handle the ball, but it breaks to Suarez anyway. That's why we're having the boos. Suarez to the right of the penalty area, into Johnson. Johnson can't get past Everett. Everett's taking the ball away, and Everett does really well, finding Giggs, who cleverly plays it off a Liverpool player. Skirtle tries to keep it in play. I think it's gone out anyway for a throw-in. It has a throw-in to Manchester United. It is perishingly cold.
Yeah, it is very cold, isn't it, Alan?
But it's, you do realise, Jan, where we live in the north of England, it's quite mild.
Absolutely.
Mike was saying it was minus 15 when he got into his car this morning. Anyway, it was even worse in other parts of the country. Here's Spearing, picking up a loose pass from United, and now on by Gerrard to Downing into Suarez. Suarez well tackled by Evans, and it's Raphael to Giggs. Giggs in the centre circle, onto Raphael. The pass again wasn't good. Liverpool intercept. Then Scholes tried to win it back. Hard but fair challenge on Henderson. Ball breaks to Kaut. Kaut hits it cross field. Evan heads it away. And to be honest, it's rather scrappy. Typified by that challenge by Gerrard. He found Suarez, and then what's going on there? Referee spotted an infringement, awards a free kick to Manchester United. Rooney's complaining bitterly to Phil Dowd at every possible opportunity. You think he was captain?
You would think so, but it's definitely not a great game, is it?
No, it's poor. It's poor for two of the best sides in the country.
Yeah. And Manchester United, fantastic home record. I think they won 6 of the last 7 against Liverpool in the Premier League. But they haven't really clicked into gear as of yet.
They've dropped 8 points at home so far this season, Manchester United. I mean, that compares to 2 points dropped at the same stage last season.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? But I mean, you know, Blackburn have come here and won, obviously, Manchester City, but other teams have come here and give a good account of themselves.
19 minutes to go to half-time here on 5 Live in the Barclays Premier League. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. Agger for Liverpool. Chipping it in the direction of Suarez. It doesn't reach Suarez. Scholes intercepts. Good volley pass by Scholes to Carrick. On to Giggs in the centre of the Liverpool half to Rooney. Rooney shot driven wide of goal.
Just found a little bit of space central there this time. First time he's really involved in the match. Rooney drops deep, ball into his feet. A little bit of space, tries to shoot through the legs of Daniel Agger, but in the end, not really a chance.
It can't be as bad as the game we saw the other night.
Let's hope not.
Spurs. I mean, bring on the cat, for goodness sake. If
it's now got
like
24,000 followers on Twitter, I believe.
Yes, so I gather. Goal kick to Liverpool, taken by Reina and driven towards the Liverpool right. Evra and Kuyt challenge for the ball now. They don't get to it. Suarez does, finds Kuyt on to Henderson. Henderson's offside, which is very careless of him because he could look right across the line of the defence.
I think what we will see here today, though, we didn't see that at Anfield on Monday. We will see Manchester United at some stage gamble to try and win this game. They know it's a home game, they know they have to win it, and they will gamble to try and go and win it. And of course, when that happens, the game will open up.
I've got to say, I keep looking to this end where the Liverpool fans are, and there's a huge police presence that separates them from the Manchester United supporters. And sad to say, the spectators in that part of the ground appear to be looking at each other rather than at the game.
I was just going to say that. It doesn't appear, even the Liverpool fans who are normally fantastic at supporting their team in away games, they seem occupied by other things.
It's a great pity. Evans and Suarez just collided. Suarez pulled Evans to his feet, and a handshake there. Anyway, the game has continued. Johnson back to Skirtle. 17 minutes to go to half time. Skirtle to Johnson again. United haven't dealt with the threat of Johnson down their left flank. Pass infield to Spearing. Onto the Liverpool captain Gerrard. Gerrard now moving forward. Flicks it to Suarez. Suarez back to Henderson. Henderson couldn't control the ball even when it was played back to him by Ferdinand. And it's cleared by Raphael up over the halfway line where Welbeck jumps with Agger. Agger does very well, hooking it out of play. Throw into Manchester United.
He had to, though. Agger last ditch tackle. He was just about to be away. Welbeck, and it would have been 2 against 1 with Rooney being up there joining him. But good defending.
Throw into United. Thrown to Welbeck. Back to Scholes. And on to Patrice Evra on the far side of the field, the United captain. In to Giggs. Welbeck again. Welbeck's far more involved in the match than Rooney is. Giggs to Carrick, just to the right of the centre circle. On to Raphael. Liverpool with every player back in their own half. And it's back the ball in the Manchester United half with Evans.
But they're quite happy, Liverpool, aren't they, for Manchester United to have the ball, to go square, to go backwards. They don't really feel, apart from possibly Valencia, that there is a real threat.
And Manchester City will be enjoying this so far. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. I remember City play tomorrow away to Villa, a game I'll be commentating on. Here's Valencia in towards Rooney, the interception by Gerrard, and Gerrard hooks it off the outside of his right foot out of play for a throw into United.
Doesn't make many mistakes, Valencia, but possibly there he just held on to the ball a little too long.
Raphael with a throw into Valencia. Back to Carrick. Scholes shows, gets the pass on to Rooney about 30 yards out. Gerrard's close by. Rooney runs away from Spearing, edge of the penalty, dinks the cross in, headed clear by Agger, and then the volley clearance further upfield by Downing, but it's back with Manchester United. The pressure still on Liverpool. Evans to Carrick to Scholes, half an hour play, 0-0 at Old Trafford. Rooney to Scholes. Scholes, lovely clip pass to Giggs, left of the penalty area. Giggs controls it, crosses into the penalty. What a header by Scholes, and a point-blank save from Reina. But Scholes really, had he headed the ball a yard to either side of the goalkeeper, had to open the scoring.
Yeah, there can be little doubt, had to score Paul Scholes. It's the best move of the match. All the midfield players involved. Again, a great cross by Giggs. Scholes completely free, 6 yards out, should have scored.
Giggs corner in towards Evan, headed away by Skirtle. Scholes should have scored.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple as that.
Absolutely. Great cross again by Giggs. How Scholes got so free, I'm not too sure, but that was a real chance.
I mean, there was nobody challenging him.
No, absolutely not.
And,
I mean, Welbeck and Rooney was in there. The centre halves were marking those two. Who was meant to pick up Scholes, I'm not too sure, but no Liverpool player anywhere near him.
Still 0-0. And ominously for Manchester United, only Manchester City have conceded fewer goals this season than Liverpool. So they're going to have to work hard, the champions, to get in front here.
And they have done, haven't they? They have worked and worked and worked. And this header for Scholes is the first chance he creates in the match.
He can't believe that he missed it.
No, he
Neither
can't.
can Sir Alex.
Absolutely. But he's headed it straight at Pepe Reina.
All right, Scholes' foot was high on Henderson and he acknowledged it, but the referee didn't give a free kick. And there's no harm done. Henderson didn't take any offence. Play continues. Rooney to Giggs, onto Welbeck, into the penalty area. Reina came, then he retreated, and Welbeck chose to cross rather than shoot his goal. Partly cleared by Liverpool. Back inside their penalty area. Valencia doesn't bring the ball under control properly, and Enrique clears it. But the pressure mounts on the visitors, and then Rooney filing Spearing with a jump. He disputes the decision made by Phil Dowd, the referee, but it's a free kick.
Well, they're having a bigger and bigger influence on these Giggs and Scholes, knocking the ball around. This time it was Giggs who ran away from Spearing. A great pass inside for Welbeck, and you think it's the shot on. I know it's a little bit of an angle, but I still think
just shoot.
Yeah, I think he's got to go for goal. Absolutely. The only man in the box was Wayne Rooney with 3 Liverpool defenders. I think he's got to shoot across the goalkeeper, Welbeck. But in the end, he decides to try and find a square pass for Rooney.
Here's Couch's header to Henderson. And on to Suarez, edge of the United penalty here. Into Couch tries to shoot. I think he accidentally caught Carrick. And yes, he did. It's a trip on Carrick, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. Let's get an update from the SPL. Dunfermline and Roddy.
Yes, we're hitting the hour mark, and there's been no change in the score here as it was at half-time. Dunfermline 1, Rangers 2. Dunfermline taking the lead, the bottom club in the SPL through Andy Kirk. Healy and McCulloch, the makeshift attack for Rangers, making it 2-1. 3 goals here then. Have you got any to come, Alan?
There better be. I don't like scoreless games. 12 minutes to go to half-time. Manchester United and Liverpool yet to open the scoring here at Old Trafford in the Barclays Premier League. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Rooney back to Carrick, and now to Scholes, and Scholes clips the ball in the direction of Giggs, easily intercepted by Johnson, who finds Spearing. But Liverpool don't have a single player inside the Manchester United half.
It takes too long, doesn't it?
Spearing hits it towards Downing, but overhits the pass, and it's out of play for a throw-in.
It simply takes too long from when Liverpool win the ball till they get any kind of personnel into the Manchester United half. And in the end, you end up with long 40-yard passes from the likes of Jay Spearing. That's not his strength.
That's good passing between Rooney and Giggs. Giggs scampering towards the right touchline and plays it towards that touchline. And Valencia shapers it, the cross delayed. Now he crosses, and the header comes in from Patrice Evra over the crossbar.
Yeah, again, that quality from Valencia against Enrique. He goes to cross it and just shifts the ball again, creates a bit of space, hangs it up at the far post. No chance the goalkeeper can come and collect it. This time it was Evra. Not really a chance.
Beginning to feel the next 11 minutes are going to be very important for Liverpool.
It's about now going into half-time at 0-0.
If they keep it at 0-0, Liverpool will be very happy, but because the signs are they're going to concede a goal.
Well, this is definitely their best spell of the match, Manchester United.
Reina with another goal kick and drives it high towards Kaut. Kaut jumps with Ferdinand. Ferdinand wins it, but Spearing is there. Spearing with the overhead kick to Johnson. Johnson now to Gerrard inside the centre circle. To Downing. Back to Gerrard. And Enrique. Enrique missed that game against Tottenham with a bit of a back injury. Spearing to Agger. And inevitably the ball's played back to Reina, who's more of a sweeper than a goalkeeper. He really is very good with either foot. And the goalkeeper's clearance upfield into the United half, but United win the ball. It's headed back to De Gea, who's been totally unoccupied for the last 20 minutes.
And I think a lot of people inside this stadium will be quite pleased with that.
Here's Evans.
Not having a lot to do, but going back to Pepe Reina, probably as good as a footballing goalkeeper you'll ever see.
Absolutely. Giggs now to Carrick, just over the halfway line left of the centre circle. Back to Scholes. Scholes to Evans. Evans and Ferdinand largely unemployed. Suarez hasn't seen much of the ball to trouble him. Rooney back to Scholes. And to Giggs, who appears to have an increasingly roving role here for Manchester United. But that's poor from Giggs. Only played it to Spearing. On it goes to Suarez. Suarez booed, but it's a good ball by the Uruguayan. To Kaut. Kaut couldn't think whether to chest that ball, have chest control or use his arm. He eventually used his chest. He crosses into the penalty area. Headed away by Evans, and that's a good header back by Carrick to Rio Ferdinand. And Ferdinand dinks the clearance towards the halfway line. Headed back by Skirtle. brought under control well by Evans. Evans is having a good game, though to be fair, he's not under much pressure.
Well, I was just going to say that. I mean, it's pretty comfortable at the moment for the centre halves. You know, Suarez is finding it difficult being isolated.
If Welbeck really was caught there by Agger, it was a complete accident. He's looking at the referee, aggrieved, but I'm sure that was an accident.
He's another one having a super season, isn't he, Daniel Agger?
Yes, he is. Agger and Skirtle. No wonder Carragher can't get anywhere near the starting 11.
And I think he accepts that, Carragher, because the two of them are playing very well.
Gerrard didn't do so well there. Lost the ball for Liverpool. Gerrard's having a really quiet game. One of his least effective games. United hit it upfield. Great control by Danny Welbeck. Down the right side. Enrique's with him, but Welbeck retreats. Plays it back to Raphael. That was excellent work by Welbeck. He's involved again. Forward to Rooney, back to Welbeck, approaching the Liverpool penalty, into the Liverpool penalty with a shot across the face of goal, not troubling Reina or the Liverpool defence, and behind it goes for a goal kick.
No, but he's got a bit about him, hasn't he, Welbeck? You know, he drops his shoulders, he wants to get involved, he's got pace about him, he's got physical strength. Good play this time, he went round Agger, and in the end, he's just stressed a little bit when he decides to shoot and it goes harmlessly wide. But certainly him and Valencia, you would think they're the real threats at the moment.
8 minutes left in the first half here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 on 5 Live. Reina hits the goal kick towards Kuyt. Most of them maybe hit towards the Dutchman, who heads it on to Suarez. Suarez back to Johnson and into Gerrard. Put under pressure from Scholes. Scholes left his foot in there and the referee spotted it as well. But play continues. Liverpool have the ball. Spearing. Well tackled by Raphael. Excellent from the Brazilian fullback, but then he loses it and it's cleared by Carrick. Carrick to Rooney, promising for Manchester United. Valencia free down the right side. If Rooney can pick him right, no he can't. And that was poor from Rooney. He thinks he was fouled, but it was just poor from him.
And he's shouting at the referee, but as you rightly pointed out, he was completely free, Valencia. And I actually thought he was waiting for Valencia to catch up, that he'd seen him, but obviously he hadn't.
That was equally poor from Henderson when he should have found Downing. Evans with the clearance to Rooney, who sprints away from Spearing, and then he does find Valencia, as he should have done a moment ago, and if he had done, Valencia would be clean through into the Liverpool penalty area. Now it's with Ferdinand to Scholes again, still inside the United half. 6 minutes to half time, 0-0 at Old Trafford in the lunchtime kickoff in the Barclays Premier League. Scholes almost down to walking pace, passes to Giggs, on to Rooney. United certainly dominant now after a very shaky opening. Scholes to Welbeck. Scholes again to Rooney. In comes Kuyt. Kuyt takes the ball off the England player. And now it's forward to Suarez. Kuyt to his right. Suarez holds on to the ball. Feeds it through to Dirk Kuyt. Not a great ball. Ferdinand gets there first. Ferdinand almost trips over. Suarez is there. Ferdinand again. And Ferdinand takes it to safety for United.
Yeah, it's that problem again, isn't it? Couldn't get men forward quick enough. Liverpool this time, Suarez and Dirk Kuyt, but he wasn't quite enough, and in the end it was a poor pass. You always felt that Rio Ferdinand was favoured to get there first.
Here's Ryan Giggs. Will be into 22 seasons at Old Trafford. Incredible, isn't it? Now Welbeck. Welbeck loses the ball a couple of yards outside the Liverpool penalty area, and it's with Gerrard, who's got Johnson to his right and also Kuyt. It's on to Johnson over the halfway line, faced now by Evra. Played back to Gerrard. 5 minutes to go to half time on 5 Live. We await the first goal at Old Trafford. Johnson again. Downing's down the right for a change. Henderson broadly on the left side. Liverpool very sluggish though in their build-up. Gerrard to Kuyt. On to Johnson. Maybe some urgency now. Johnson approaching the penalty at the Stretford end. Still going forward, beat 2 players, plays it back now to Gerrard. Gerrard 30 yards out, crashes in a shot, takes a deflection off Scholes and loops over the crossbar behind for a corner. Yeah,
for a second you thought the goalkeeper might just be in a little bit of trouble here, but in the end it goes over the crossbar.
So sluggish though.
Yeah, they are, but they just lack ideas, Liverpool, don't they, when they get into the Manchester United half. You don't quite think they know what they want to do next.
Corner to Liverpool at the Stretford end. Gerrard, the captain's going to take it. And Liverpool have got, Dirk Kuyt standing in front of David De Gea at the moment. They'd wish Andy Carroll was on for this situation. Gerrard's corner. Played in very deep. Skirtle heads it back, but that should be headed clear by Manchester United. It's a poor headed clearance though. Straight to Gerrard. Gerrard whips it in again. Agger with the header, and it's chested behind by Ferdinand for another corner.
He couldn't quite get there this time, Daniel Agger, and then it goes to the far post, and he does the right thing via Ferdinand. He didn't quite know how close Martin Skirtle was to him. In the end, gives away another corner.
Inside the final 4 minutes of the first half, Downing's corner from the right. Agger heads it down. Skirtle with a volleyed shot over the crossbar. He claims it was a deflection. A referee didn't see it.
It was a flick on by Agger, and then a very difficult technique on the half volley from Martin Skirtle. Goes way over the crossbar.
Yeah. Goal kick to Manchester United. But that's the first real effort on De Gea's goal for a very long time, since the early shot by Johnson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they've had any directly on target as of yet, Liverpool. Although they'll be quite happy. A lot of Manchester United's play is central, where Liverpool are very, very strong. The only threat is on the right when Valencia's on the ball, and he's excellent. He probably hasn't seen enough of the ball, but when he has it, he's a very good player.
Raphael to Evans, and on to Carrick, almost on the halfway line, right of the centre circle. Carrick sweeps it to the left side to Rooney. Good pass, good control by Rooney. In towards Giggs, just outside the penalty area. Giggs, he tried to set it up for Welbeck. It's cleared though by Liverpool, and then won back by Welbeck. He's having a good first half, Danny Welbeck.
He's full of it, isn't he?
Just as I said, he's having a good first half.
He's having a shocker.
Wretchedly miscontrols the ball on the far side of the field, and it's out for a throw-in.
He just overdid that trick a little bit, didn't he? 15 step overs.
But he's playing well.
Yeah, he's full of energy, isn't he? He wants to get involved. He wants to take responsibility.
What he's not is an out-and-out striker on his own. He needs to be playing with somebody else.
He needs a bit of help, doesn't he?
Gerrard, that's an important block by Carrick. Gerrard was trying to sweep it towards Downing down the left. And then, even though Liverpool had the advantage, the referee has blown up for a Liverpool free kick. And Phil Dow's explaining to Paul Scholes it was for foot up.
Yeah, I think it was Valencia on spearing, but just going back to Gerrard, I think he's having a very wasteful first 45 minutes.
Yep. Unusual for him to give the ball away quite so cheaply.
And you think they've had a lot of time in there, Liverpool, because as I said before, Manchester United without the ball are not that great. So there's plenty of time and space for Gerrard, but not been his best 45 minutes.
Reina takes the free kick well outside his penalty area, but it's easily dealt with by Evra. Scholes finds Carrick onto Rooney. Spearing's close to Rooney for most of the time. Rooney plays it to the right side to Raphael. That's a foul by Downing. Could be the first yellow card, and is.
You could just see it coming, couldn't you? You just felt that Downing was never going to get there. Raphael just pushes the ball forward. In comes the challenge, goes to ground, out comes the book.
Yeah, and the right decision. News from Dunfermline, Roddy?
Yes, I should imagine Rangers have the 3 points that looked elusive to them earlier in the bag now. Sonny Aluko wandering towards the edge of the penalty area. He looked as though he was looking for someone to prompt, and he quite suddenly whipped a left foot shot devastatingly into the net past Smith, and so it's Dunfermline 1, Rangers 3.
Thank you, Roddy. 0-0 at Old Trafford, last minute of the first half. United do have this penchant for scoring late in the halves of games. This would be a good time for the champions. Giggs free kick, left-footed, swirling in towards goal, headed away by Johnson, allowed to bounce by Kuyt, and then good work between Suarez and Kuyt. Suarez coming forward, Suarez gets away from Ferdinand, Suarez then brought down, was he, by Ferdinand? No, the referee decides that's not a free kick.
Well, it's definitely the decision to be made by the referees. Decided it wasn't a foul. Suarez is not happy. He's having a pop at the referee, he's having a pop at the assistant, but I just think that when you look at it again, the direction of the ball indicates that Ferdinand got the ball.
Right. Well, it was close there.
It was definitely close.
Suarez definitely got away from Evra.
He got away from Evra first, and then Ferdinand comes across.
Oh, he got the ball. Well done, Rio Ferdinand.
And well done, referee.
Yep. Good decision. I don't know how much time's being added on. I think it can only be a minute. Yes. I can't remember too many stoppages, if any. But it's 0-0. And we've got 25 seconds remaining of that added time. Scholes heads the ball towards the left, but it bounces once and it's out of play for a throw-in to Liverpool. Johnson, the spearing, onto Kuyt. Well played by Kuyt. He was fouled there by Scholes. Scholes are diving in. Typical Scholes. Ball is back to Reina. Reina with the clearance over the halfway line. Ferdinand jumps, heads it only to Spearing. Spearing just about finds Downing. Downing clips it to the left side, and Enrique on towards Suarez, and there's the half-time whistle. Suarez kicked the ball out of play, but I've got to tell you something. That was kicked toward the dugouts.
Yeah, it was definitely. And again, it's one of those things.
Ironically,
the final whistle goes, and then he launches into the dugout of the crowd. Unnecessary, but I have to say, disappointing first 45 minutes.
Well, there are boos, and the referee, I think, is going across actually to make sure that Suarez is not confronted. Rooney's having another moan. Someone needs to tell the England striker he's not the captain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to shut up.
And what the Liverpool players did there, they all got around Suarez to make sure there was no trouble on the way down to the tunnel.
Right, let's have some football in the second half. Half-time, it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0.
Thank you very much indeed, gents. An awful lot going on there, starting with the handshakes or the lack of them, with Suarez snubbing Evra, who then tried to grab his arm as if to say, come on, let's shake hands. And then Rio Ferdinand very publicly snubbing Suarez as well. 0-0 at half-time there then. Rangers 3-1 up at Dunfermline. Let's go to the indoor athletics in Sheffield. Mike Costello.
And Jessica Ennis, who injured her left ankle in this very competition last year, a setback which cut short her indoor season, has just taken her 4th high jump title in 6 seasons. She's clear at the moment at 1 metre 91 centimetres, a mark which is significantly higher than she jumped in taking silver at the World Championships outdoors in Daegu last September. Also to come for Ennis this afternoon, she goes in the shot put, with possibly the long jump tomorrow, definitely the 60 metres hurdles, but she's showing herself to be in tremendous form with 1 month to go now to the defence of her world indoor title in Turkey.
Thank you very much indeed, Mike. And golf news, Lee Westwood came from 3 behind to lead the Dubai Classic by 1 shot after 3 rounds. The world number 3 will head into the final round. 15 under par. Overnight leader Rory McIlroy is 3 shots back. It's 1:34. 5 Live Sport with Mark Pugac. News time with Rebecca Pocchiello.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
5 senior employees of The Sun have been arrested by police investigating allegations of corrupt payments made to public officials. They include the paper's associate editor, Jeff Webster. A serving police officer, a member of the Armed Forces and a Ministry of Defence employee have also been detained. Child poverty campaigners are joining Labour in warning changes to tax credits will leave thousands of working families worse off. Currently, people working 16 hours a week qualify for help, but in April this will rise to 24 hours a week. The UN is offering to mediate between Argentina and Britain after tensions escalated over the Falkland Islands. Argentina has lodged a formal complaint with the UN, accusing Britain of militarising the region, which the UK has dismissed as absurd. More demonstrations have taken place in Athens against a decision by the Greek government to impose further austerity measures needed in order to secure another bailout. The Greek Parliament is due to vote on the decision tomorrow. And Irish police have arrested 2 men in Cork as part of an investigation into dissident Republican activity. A handgun was found during the operation. Police are now also searching a nearby wood. And a look to the roads. Here's 5 Live travel now with Amy Clues.
Thanks very much. The M56 has reopened. It was closed earlier on eastbound between 10 at Stretton and 9 at Lymm Interchange following an accident. All lanes reopened, but traffic is still very heavy with congestion back to 11 at Preston Brook. Newport, the M4, traffic's very heavy there too. Again, it was because of an earlier accident which has since cleared. At junction 24 at Caldra, congestion's back to Magor services at 23A. Leicestershire, the M69 northbound exit slip road is blocked by an overturned vehicle. This is the slip road that goes on to the M1 junction 21 at Foss Park. Expect delays on that roundabout. M40 southbound, we've got a lane out on the entry slip road. Ongoing barrier repairs at 15 Longbridge Island. We can see that traffic's heavy on the approach to that one. And in Hampshire, M3 northbound is closed. There was an accident earlier. Investigation work is now taking place. There is a diversion, but it's 16 miles long. And the M5 northbound in Somerset, there's a vehicle fire between junctions 25 at Taunton and 24 at the A38. Amy Clues, 5 Live Travel.
Alan Carr, comedian and maestro of chat. Sorry I can't come to the phone. Leave your message after the laughter.
Hello, Mr. Carr. Do you want to do the Sport Relief Mile with me? I like you because your voice sounds just like my grandma.
Who are you going to do the mile with? Enter online at the BBC Sport Relief website.
Well, let's go to Rome then, where it's been snowing, and it's Italy-England in the Six Nations. The first half live on Sports Extra from 3:45. The second half commentary here on 5 Live. I know it's been snowing because Matt Dawson has been tweeting pictures of it. Matt, good afternoon. How is it?
It's been snowing. It is snowing. I'm in commentary position as we chat here, Mark, and I'm looking at the ground, looking at the Olympic Stadium, and the easy way to describe it is that if you can't quite tune in your TV and it gets that horrible fuzz, it's exactly like that. It's settling on the field. I'd say at the moment, yes, you could play on it. Another 2 hours of this, I personally think that it would jeopardise the player's safety, but no decision has been made yet, that's for sure.
Matt, we'll be back with you in a second. I know we've got a friend of yours from Rai Radio, Italian Radio. Back in a second. We're going to have the second half here on 5 Live of Italy-England. At 3 o'clock, commentary is Blackburn against QPR. Both sides, of course, battling relegation. Let's have a word with Mark Bowen at Ewood Park, the QPR assistant manager. Of course, enjoyed his time at Ewood Park under Mark Hughes as well. Mark, very good to speak to you again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Matt.
How is it going back to an old club? What sort of feelings does it engender in you?
Yeah, it's always nice coming back. We had 4 or 5 happy years here. We were relatively successful when we were here, and we've got many friends here, but obviously friendship was out the window today because those Premier League points are vital for everybody.
And it's a different club you're going back to, let's be honest, isn't it? Obviously with new owners, a lot of the backroom staff, chairman, chief executive, for whom people had a lot of respect. It has changed a lot there at Blackburn. How do you regard their season, Mark?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously clubs move on in different ways, and they've got new owners come in and they're having difficult times at the moment, I think, probably like the rest of us at the moment, but no. I mean, there's a lot of change going on in the place, but I say there's familiar faces, and behind the scenes there's still very good people working, so we wish them all the best, but obviously after 5 o'clock this evening.
We all understand that, Mark. The manager in particular has been under extreme pressure, hasn't he, Steve Keane, from his own fans. I've been to Ewood Park a number of times this season, Mark. I've seen the banners. I saw one flown out the back of a plane, as well as the banners at the Ronnie Clayton end away to your left. It has been, in that sense, almost unique just how much pressure the manager's been under from his own fans.
Yeah, he has. It's been amazing, Mark, and obviously it's been well documented. I think everybody sort of realises full credit to Steve in carrying on the way he has, and they continue to battle for points the same as everybody else. But yeah, it's been, I came here, I think, and did a little bit of work for 5 Live a few weeks ago, and it was, there was a real strange and hostile atmosphere at the ground, and I think they've sort of come through at that time, if you like, and I think it may obviously it'll continue probably until they're safe, if you like, if they're going to be safe in the Premier League. But each club's got their own different problems, and it's nothing new to them at the moment, and it's something that we've got to take on board here and not let it affect our players as well if anything does happen on the day, from a fan's point of view.
High time we talked about QPR. How are the new signings settling in? Obviously Djibril Cissé suspended today, but Bobby Zamora got a goal. You brought in a couple of defenders as well. How are all the new signings settling in, Mark?
Yeah, they're settling in well, Mark. Obviously didn't go to plan last week. Against Wolves we started off well for the first 20 minutes, and I must say, from a personal point of view, after about 20 minutes, I don't think I've ever felt so comfortable in a game. Everything seemed to be clicking with Bobby Zamora and Djibril Cissé, and Tayo had settled in nice at left back, and then obviously we lose out on Djibril to a rash challenge from not rash challenge but a rash reaction from himself, and it got difficult then. Took us a while to settle down really, but we finished the game really well. Certainly the last 20 minutes, half an hour, created a lot of chances, and Adel Taarabt come into his own, if you like, when that sort of expectancy was put on him to go and create for the team and go and cause problems to the opposition, and he certain, working this week with him at close quarters, I think he showed Mark, myself and all the staff the fantastic qualities he's got. So it's an opportunity for him today to come up and maybe play just off Bobby Zamora up front and see where he can what problems he can prove against Blackburn Rovers.
Mark, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate
My pleasure,
it.
Mark.
Thank you very much. Mark Bone, the QPR assistant manager. Back in a second to Rome. Just reading here from a television reporter in the tunnel at Old Trafford that police and stewards have had to break up a bust-up in the tunnel at Old Trafford as the Liverpool and Manchester United players came off the pitch at Old Trafford. So a television reporting a bust-up in the tunnel that police and stewards have had to get into the middle of there at Old Trafford. More in the second half. Right, Matt Dawson's watching the snow coming down. Paolo Pacchitti from Rai Radio, Italian Radio, is alongside Matt. And Paolo, good afternoon to you. What sort of atmosphere can the England players expect in a different ground today, Paolo? Paolo, we should emphasise playing in the Stadio Olimpico, the famous old football ground, rather than the Stadio Flaminio?
Paolo's having a few problems at the moment, Mark, and I want to interrupt very quick. Well, no, I can answer it. I'll give you a quick giggle here before you can repeat the question to Paolo. They've put the sprinklers on.
Really? Well, it's still snowing and they put the sprinklers on.
It's still snowing, they've put the sprinklers on.
I don't know they want the downhill in Kitzbühel or something? Yes.
Just to add to the ice rink, they've put the sprinklers on. Ask that question to Paolo again. Sorry, Mark.
No, Paolo, thank you. Really nice of you to join us. What sort of atmosphere can England expect? As I was saying, you're playing in the Stadio Olimpico rather than the Stadio Flaminio now.
I think that the atmosphere will be full of passion because 70,000 people are expected here at the Olympic Stadium. Consider that in Milan 2 years ago there were 80,000 for the All Blacks. So I think that the pressure will be great, will be enormous for the Italians but also for the English. And about the snow, I would you remind that in 1997 the first success against Ireland, Lansdowne Road, it was snowing there too, so beware.
It might just be in the stars, Paolo. What is your view? What is the Italian view of what is, Paolo, a very new-look England side that won in Scotland?
Yes, I think I've got a slight hope, a very, very slim hope that Italy could find a way to make something great. The new coach, Jacques Brunel, provided a good standard, trying to be more balanced in attack and in defense. The defeat against France showed something different. I hope to see something similar tonight at the Olympic Stadium. And about England, it's quite difficult to think what kind of team will be the England one. I only think that it's a team full of backdoors, and maybe Italy could find one of this.
Matt, I hope that's the PA, Matt, rather than a man with large symbols behind you. Matt, we admired England's tenacity, their heart, their discipline in Scotland. Bearing in mind the weather, I was speaking to this Ian Robertson earlier, it's probably asking too much to see how good England could be running the ball if it's sleet and snow when they're watering the pitch.
Yeah, there's no question this is not going to be a game for expansive rugby. I think this is probably going to suit England on the back of what happened in Scotland last week. England's defence was assured. There are still a few gaps, there are a few chinks that the Scots found, and they need to shore that up. But this game is going to be won with 10 men from each side. It's going to be a forward battle. It's about territory, and I would probably guess actually the team who defends or therefore doesn't have the ball for the longest time will probably win the game, because it's going to be a lot easier to defend today than it is to attack, Mark.
Yep. Paolo, one final one to you. You'll be very aware that your television company, Rai, have caused quite a fuss in English football this week, Paolo.
Oh yeah, we are in the center of detention for the Capello, but we don't have now the problem. We are only at the beginning with Brunel,
Yeah, okay, with your coach, lovely. Thank you very much, Paolo.
No
first
problem.
half commentary, Italy, England, 5 Live Sports Extra from 3:45. Second half here on 5 Live, France, Ireland, live on 5 Live from 10 to 8. Peter Reid is our summariser at the Blackburn game this afternoon, Blackburn QPR with John Murray. Peter, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mark.
What have you made of the little football that's been played at Old Trafford?
It was a poor game in terms of what you'd expect from Manchester United and Liverpool. Whether there's a lot of pressure on the players because of what's happened in non-football terms, I don't know, but I certainly expect the second half to be a lot better.
Shall we bin the pre-match handshakes? Is it an artifice?
Are you reading my tweet?
I haven't. I do follow you. I just
tweet. Is that right? Tweeted
that's
that.
Very right. Yes.
Do you know that old-fashioned tradition when you played a game and you shook hands at the end of a game? I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
No. You'd kick somebody accidentally, they'd kicked you accidentally, you went and had a drink in the bar, didn't you?
Well, I think sometimes it has been, shaking hands before the game has been proved, not just this week or recent weeks, a long time before that they cause more problems than they solve in terms of respect. All right, play the game, If you want to shake hands after the game, shake hands. If you don't, get off the pitch, let's get on with it and start talking about football instead of the ridiculous scenarios that happen at the moment.
Yeah. Just a quick word then, the game you're going to see today, and Bolton, Bolton, of course, for whom you played as well. Bolton Wigan just down the road from you, and Blackburn QPR, Wolves West Brom tomorrow as well, Peter. 6 teams, 3 games, which could just give us an indication of what the last couple of months will be like at the bottom. Yeah,
I think it's massive psychologically as well for the teams who get results. This game we're doing today, I think it is a very, very important game. Blackburn, Yakubu's back. He's not the most mobile, but I'll tell you what, if he gets it in the box, I can remember early on the season, the finish against the Arsenal. I mean, that was one of the best finishes I've seen in a long time in terms of just a pure finisher. I think if they can get the ball in there to him, he could cause problems. But Mark Hughes is a really good manager, and QPR will be very, very well organised today. It's going to be a tight one today.
Certainly is, Peter. Looking forward to it with you and John Murray. Thank you for now. Quickly, Dunfermline ready for Scythe.
Yes, Rangers scored 4 last time they were here in September. They've done it again, albeit that they gave Dunfermline a goal at the start. And this time there was a couple of people we haven't seen much of this season. Marvin Chalik, the only signing that Rangers made in January, forcing a save out of Smith. The rebound fell to Salim Kerkar and he thrashed it home. So it's now Dunfermline 1, Rangers 4, and that means the focus moves on to Neil Lennon's side against Inverness Cally Thistle at 3 o'clock.
Thank you very much to Old Trafford. Lots of handbags at half-time in the tunnel. Here's Mike Ingham.
Welcome back. The biggest indictment of this game so far is that all the talking points happened before the first half started and after the first half finished. The actual 45 minutes, apart from a Scholes header, and he should have scored, Rayner saved point blank. Jan Mulby, pretty forgettable, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and the players shouldn't forget they have a responsibility to produce us with some decent footballers, and that's why we're here, to see a good game of football. We haven't seen it in the first half. We hope it gets better.
Well, I've had a chance during the break. It was all a little confusing to see exactly what was happening during the handshake thing is now totally counterproductive, as we've been saying. I think they really do have to rethink that. But just in case you haven't been with us, we'll try and reprise what happened for you as Manchester United now look to Ryan Giggs. Giggs nudges the ball onto Welbeck. Welbeck just inside the penalty area. Let's hope the football will take over here. Scholes finding Evra, who's gone forward and he's on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Manchester United playing from right to left towards the Stretford end in this second half. Good ball now. I thought Carrick had a decent first half. Finds Valencia down the right-hand side. Valencia against Enrique, and that's going to be a corner, so there's no time yet to give you the lineups. Carrick has had a much improved time just lately. Maybe taking on the responsibility with Fletcher being out of the side and no Anderson, no Cleverley. Sir Alex Ferguson is very late to his seat, just returning now down there. It's a corner kick to his team, to Manchester United. 0-0 at Old Trafford. Carrick is at the near post. Rooney just behind him. Evans is there as well. Little bit of pushing and shoving. In goes the corner kick, flicked on by Carrick. Rooney scores! Rooney smashes the ball in from about 5 yards out. Corner kick, Carrick flicked on. Rooney buries it. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0.
Yeah, they did a similar thing in the first half where Giggs drops the corner in at the near post. Carrick flicks it on. This time Rooney, some 6 yards out, just gets in front of Glenn Johnson and he smashes an unstoppable volley into the back of the net. Great finish from Wayne Rooney.
Manchester United's goals by number 10, Wayne Rooney.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson just about returned in time to see it. And now Liverpool have to come out and play, yeah.
Absolutely, and we were hoping for the goal. The game was desperate for the goal. We now have one. Liverpool now have to come out. They have to push men forward, possibly even look at what they got on the bench to introduce the likes of Bellamy. Game on.
And Suarez has to forget about his squabbles and concentrate on the game. United lineup: De Gea, Rafael, Ferdinand, Evans and Evra. Valencia, Carrick, Scholes and Giggs, Rooney and Welbeck. Liverpool: Rayner, Johnson, Skirtle, Agger and Enrique. Spearing, Gerrard, Henderson, Couch, Suarez, Downing. Ferdinand tidying up for Manchester United. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0 as Giggs uncharacteristically gives the ball away. Couch now near side for Liverpool. Couch's ball infield towards Henderson, and United tidy up. There was more threat generally from Manchester United before the break. Johnson was the main source of danger down the right-hand side for Liverpool. Suarez was an isolated figure, and if you haven't been with us, well, the first half ended with Suarez kicking the ball away in anger. I think he thought he should have had a penalty. He thought he should have had Ferdinand being sent off or being brought down, the last defender. Offside now. Then apparently there were skirmishes in the tunnel with Evra looking to confront Luis Suarez. because before the game, the infamous so-called handshake, there's no question now looking back at it that Suarez blanked Evra. Evra was going to shake his hand. Evra then protested, and then matters were made even worse then, because then Rio Ferdinand withdrew his hand from Luis Suarez. Referee Phil Dowd had to intervene, and it was completely farcical. And I guess if you stand back and look at it all, really, then Evra surely the aggrieved party. Suarez, after all, got the 8-game ban, but obviously Suarez doesn't see it that way, neither does his manager.
Suarez probably feels he was hard done by, but as you rightly said, he was the guilty party. Very, very disappointing, but at least now, with this goal, we might just have a match.
And apparently Johnson left Rooney for the goal, for the corner. Giggs corner, Carrick header on. Rooney was there to sweep in the goal for Manchester United. Liverpool now Spearing loses the ball. Valencia, Rooney's there and scores a second, and it was a mistake by Spearing, and the ball was played through to Wayne Rooney, and he couldn't really miss, and he didn't. And Manchester United have started the second half with 2 goals in the first 4 minutes, and they both come from Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, that's the problem when you make mistakes in those areas. Enrique's pass inside to Spearing, he just simply can't sort his feet out quick enough. Valencia's onto him. Once he wins the ball, he's away, running straight at Martin Skirtle, and it was only a matter of can he pick the right pass, slides it into the path of Wayne Rooney. First time left foot, finished through the legs of Pepe Reina. 2-0, possibly game over.
Well, there was 2 penalties from Rooney in the second half last Sunday at Chelsea, which got Manchester United back into that game. They've taken control of this game with 2 goals from Wayne Rooney, and you just wonder how things have affected the dressing rooms at half-time, with all the melee going on in the tunnel apparently when the first half finished. And so it's 2-0 to Manchester United, and Manchester City, of course, who play tomorrow at Aston Villa. This would not be the scoreline that they would want. The atmosphere is now ringing around Old Trafford, and now can Liverpool respond? Dunfermline 1, Rangers 4 is how it finished in Scotland. Celtic playing Inverness at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Much for Liverpool to do. They may need Bellamy, they may need Carroll, they may need Adam. Suarez looking a little tired, can't get hold of the ball. Remember, Suarez has hardly played. He came back for 25 minutes against Spurs, having not played since Boxing Day. Unlikely perhaps to finish this match. Rooney now perhaps fancies a hat-trick as he tries to thread the ball through to Welbeck. Well read by Agger. Run from the back from Agger, overruns it. Rooney checks him, and Rooney's the master of the ceremony at the moment here.
But what they need, Liverpool, they need a foothold in the game, that's for sure. Then they need a more positive approach than what we've seen. You know, and before you do that, you haven't got a hope in hell. But at the moment, it's Manchester United step-overs, doing a few tricks, full of confidence.
For long periods, Jan, in the first half, Liverpool didn't have a foothold, did they?
No, really? They didn't. No. They started very well, but then quickly Manchester United got a grip of the game without being particularly dangerous. They didn't create an awful lot of chances. But obviously the great goal, the first goal in the second half, have opened things up. And what Liverpool have to do now, they have to gamble. And when you gamble, of course you run the risk of a heavy defeat. But they have to try and show something.
That's a great sound, and now everything that's happened around this game has to be put to one side, because this is serious stuff now in the Premier League. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. Rooney has scored 2 inside the first 4 minutes, and now Giggs for Manchester United taking on Johnson. Johnson was great going forward in the first half, not so clever defensively in this second half. Welbeck on to Paul Scholes, who had the best chance in the first half. Should have scored with a header, and he knew it as well. Johnny Evans for Manchester United. Liverpool once more in retreat, and they do need to find some support here for Luis Suarez. Carrick, who's very much dominating the midfield. Smooth pass onto Rooney, who jinks away from Spearing, but not Henderson. Henderson tidies up, but again Liverpool are being pushed right back. Now Downing, we saw very little of him in the first half, and Raphael got the challenge in. Liverpool have a throw-in just inside the Manchester United half, and at some point you might think that Kenny Dalglish possibly would bring Bellamy on for Downing. He really hasn't had much contribution from him so far.
No, he's been very ineffective, Downing. I mean, the only thing you can say, whenever he gets the ball, he is some 70 yards from the Manchester United goal. They just haven't managed to get him into good positions. The same problem with Suarez, isolated up top, and really when you look at him now, he just look a little bit disinterested, doesn't he, almost?
Well, just to try and soften the atmosphere amongst all the serious stuff here today, I would like to reflect that I'm very happy to be here today, because according to the papers yesterday, because of the weather. Elderly people had to stay indoors this weekend. Minus 15. It was minus 15 in my car when I set off from the south of England today. So I've defied the advice given to me, and I'm pleased now because we're getting a game of football here.
We're delighted you can be with us, Mike.
long ball downfield into the penalty area, and De Gea, who really hasn't had to do very much.
I don't think he's had a single shot to deal with, has he? Certainly no crosses.
There's a meaty challenge there between Gerrard and Everett. Dirk Kuyt. Goals, of course, change atmospheres. They must change Liverpool's response now. They can't sit back anymore. They need to find more attacking players, perhaps, from the sidelines. De Gea clears. Of course, one goal from Liverpool, and then it'll be right back in the melting pot once more. But Valencia's still a handful. This time, though, the linesman has pulled him up over on the far side for a foul on Enrique. Handshake at the end of all that. And what a pity we didn't get that early on from everybody. And it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, it's all hands to the pumps now from Liverpool, isn't it? They have to get Downing and Kuyt further forward. Henderson and Gerrard the same. They have to pressurise Scholes and Giggs and Carrick, to try and break up their play and just offer a little bit more than what they've done so far.
Gerrard, who's pushed back inside his own half, onto Spearing at fault for the second goal. Spearing to the hard-working Kuyt. And now Johnson. Johnson shuffles forward. Poor ball in, though, from Johnson. Lack conviction. Once more, Carrick has possession. He may lose this to Suarez, and he does. Suarez goes forward and he's tripped. And that's a free kick to Liverpool, 25 yards out and to the right as we look at it.
Yeah, caught in possession, Carrick. And he gives away a needless free kick. This gives Liverpool an opportunity. This is probably the first time they've had a free kick in a situation where you feel they might be able to put the goalkeeper under some pressure.
Well, Kenny Dalglish will give a press conference after this game, and at the moment promises to be quite a testing one for him. He's going to get some searching questions about his team and also about the Suarez incident. Anyway, his team have got a free kick. Downing to take it. Skrtel and Agger have both gone forward. It's 2-0 to Manchester United, and you're listening to 5 Live. Downing is poised. Phil Dowd just making sure everything's ready. There's pushing going on there between. I'm not quite sure why Rafael is even thinking about taking on Skrtel, who's towering over him. I noticed he was Suarez minder at half-time, and it's a desperate free kick taken by Downing. Absolutely hopeless. Too flat, straight onto a Manchester United head, and now United try and break, and Welbeck's a bit unlucky because it hit him on the back, and we're looking for movement now from the Liverpool bench, I think.
Well, they're definitely warming up, aren't they? So it can only be a matter of time, and Downing, you would have thought, some things you can excuse, but, free kicks, poor delivery that we've just seen there.
Suarez
no
now,
excuses.
Up against Evra. Went past Evra, but not Scholes, and United always have that second player helping out here. Rooney. Well, Skrtel seemed to go through the back of Rooney, he did. And the referee Phil Dowd gives
eventually
a free kick.
Eventually
yes,
he gave a free kick, yeah.
We haven't had any bookings at all, have we?
No, I don't think there has been. But it's a typical performance now from Manchester United where they're enjoying themselves, they're full of energy, everybody wants to be on the ball. And Liverpool, they're working hard enough, but there's no real shape to the way that they're playing.
Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. In the week when Fabio Capello's left his England job, Rooney, who will miss the 2 games, of course, at the start of Euro 2012, has got both the goals. He has the ball as well, and he's played it into Welbeck, but Agger was there once more with a timely interception. But Liverpool are being pushed back all the time here by Manchester United, who are hunting them down, all ever going in, and United seem to be even more fired up perhaps by everything that happened before the game.
Maybe they see an opportunity here, Mike, don't they? To rack up quite a big score against their fierce rivals. They're certainly up for it, that's for sure. And Liverpool offering very little at the moment.
And maybe Liverpool, the more distracted of the two teams, in that it was Suarez who didn't want to join the party. Even though it's superficial and we've criticised the handshake, was it really asking too much just for a touch of the hand and then down the line? But all that's gone now. Manchester United look like they're going to have the 3 points, which is more important to them. They have the ball, they're winning all the 50-50s. They're looking really strong again, that central area, with Carrick and Scholes, and Giggs is joining in from time to time. But at the moment he's back on the left. Carroll and Bellamy have been warming up and must surely come on soon here for Liverpool. 12 and a half minutes gone in the second half. 2-0 to Manchester United. Johnny Evans goes forward and he beats Spearing to the ball. Oh no, he doesn't. The ball's in the back of the net, but I think Rooney, that was a fantastic finish, but it was from 35 yards, but Phil Dowd had already blown his whistle for a foul by Evans on Spearing.
I don't think there's a great deal wrong with Evans' challenge, and Wayne Rooney's rifled one from 25 yards into the top corner. I don't know whether Reina would have stopped that. Obviously he just let it go because the referee had already blown for the foul.
Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. Sometimes it can be a big advantage to play 12:45 Saturday if you win the game and put the pressure on City, who play at Villa tomorrow. Alan will be there at Villa Park. 4 o'clock kick-off. It's Ryan Giggs for Manchester United, threatening to score a third here. Not a great ball, though. That's sliced away by Giggs behind. And Rain is furious with somebody, shaking his fist at his defenders. But it's all Manchester United at the moment. 2-0 they lead. And we have played 13 minutes of the second half. But, of course, Manchester United would go a point clear of City if they win this game. And here goes Carrick now. Down, it's all United. Buzzing. Seem to have an extra man in the middle area. Welbeck now to Valencia, who's looking really sharp. Raphael on the outside. Little jinking run from Valencia to Scholes. Scholes lets it run on. Rooney's there. So too was Valencia. But somehow they contrived to put it wide of goal. And that was almost a third for Manchester United.
Yeah, but they're playing fantastic football at the moment. Again, Valencia involved. Plays the ball inside to Scholes. And Scholes, I mean, what a fantastic footballer. He steps over the ball. And I actually think Wayne Rooney was surprised. He didn't expect that. But great play. And again, if Rooney would have expected that, he'd have definitely scored. It was another chance. But at the moment, Liverpool using everything they got just to hang on in there.
Carroll's coming on. We think Bellamy as well. And I remember Alan during the commentary in the first half saying that Welbeck was outshining Rooney, and that was right at the time. Rooney wasn't in the game, but he's certainly made his mark in the first 5 minutes, scoring 2, almost having 3. Welbeck can't control it this time, and we wait for this double change. I think it's a double change. Bellamy hasn't taken his tracksuit top off yet, but I think he's going to come on with Carroll. Wonder whether that might be the end of Suarez. But Liverpool need to get Gerrard further forward as well.
Yeah, they do, yeah. But I mean, you have to gamble. You have to think you have to go 4-4-2. And for my money, it would be Stuart Downing and Spearing who would have to come off.
Right.
And just to try and
so
change
you would
things.
keep Suarez out there,
yeah. Well, just in case, you know, he just... And then give him a bit more of a free role. Andy Carroll will be a lone striker and Suarez would just roam in behind it.
Just a match fitness question, I suppose. But
yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
Wait and see.
But you're 2-0 down and you have to gamble. You have to try and show something. Give the fans some hope.
Jan Molby's with us as Gerrard lifts the ball into the Manchester United penalty area. Ferdinand makes sure it doesn't stay there very long. And it's going to be a goal kick. Half an hour to go. Here come the changes. Let's see what's on Kenny Dalglish's mind. Bellamy coming on, and the first man coming off, Jan predicted, is Spearing, at fault for the second goal. Bellamy, I remember having a great game here in the Manchester derby a season or two ago. And you got it right, Jan. Downing as well comes off. Well done.
Well, I just
Suarez
think
stays out there.
He has to do something, Kenny, and he has to show the fans that in situations like this, 2-0 down at Manchester United, you can still be positive. It's not about holding on and just losing 2-0. It's about giving it a go now. So it's a straightforward 4-4-2 with Henderson, Gerrard in the middle, Couch on the right, Bellamy on the left, Suarez in a free role and Carroll up front, and they now just have to give it a go.
Well, the changes that Dalglish made in the cup tie recently won the game for Liverpool against Manchester United. But of course they weren't 2-0 down in that game. So, as Jan was saying, it's Gerrard and Henderson now anchoring midfield. We've got Bellamy over on the left, Count on the right, and Suarez has got some support now. He's going to play just in behind Andy Carroll, who's trying to control the ball for the first time. Now he has it, Carroll. Big presence, of course. Good ball from him too to Gerrard. If Liverpool can just get one here with just under half an hour to go, it's 2-0 to Manchester United. Johnson, a little slow though from the England fullback. Oh, and then he's easily loses the ball to Giggs. It comes back to Gerrard once more. Count near side. Evra just backing off. Count's ball to Johnson, who's stayed forward following the move. Again, he's nudging himself sideways. Bellamy's first touch, shoots straight at Johnny Evans. Comes back to Enrique. Enrique trying to find some height with the cross. Doesn't find the height. But United struggling to clear. Henderson now for Enrique. Liverpool fans urging their team to respond here as Enrique lifts the ball to Gerrard. Enrique wants it back. Gerrard slants it in towards Carroll. Good header under pressure from Raphael though, and then Raphael moves the ball on to Valencia, and Liverpool have to get back now. Valencia breaking quickly into the Liverpool half, steadies himself and finds Scholes. Little nudge to Carrick. Welbeck points as Giggs now takes possession, and Manchester United back in possession once more, and of course they lead 2-0. They don't have to go charging the game here now. They have the control and they have the ball still. Scholes.
They're certainly set up to play this type of football, aren't they, with Giggs and Scholes and Carrick and plenty of room. And Paul Scholes, he's playing the game now as if he's got a remote control in his hand, controlling things.
A lovely little reverse ball from Scholes to Carrick and back again to Carrick, who's sitting in the midfield and just picking passes really. Hardly seen him waste a pass all game so far. And then Scholes, under a little bit of pressure, knocks it back and Ferdinand tidies up. And that's really all De Gea is doing so far in the second half, fielding back passes from his team. And Manchester United set off once more. 2-0 they lead. 2 goals from Rooney inside the first 4 minutes of the second half. Valencia turns and starts a run for Manchester United. Finds Rafael down the right. Rafael's ball too near the goalkeeper, Reina.
Yeah, poor cross from Rafael in the end. Again, good play by Valencia. But you have to accept when you're Liverpool that United are going to be given time and space because Liverpool have to push forward. You just have to take that chance. Then, when you have the ball, you just have to make more of it than what Liverpool have done so far.
Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. It would move United to 58 points, City 57. City with that game in hand at Villa tomorrow afternoon. But the games are starting to run out now. United will just have 13 left after today, but I don't think they're playing at home in the Premier League for another month. West Bromwich Albion, I think, is their next game at home in the Premier League in the second week of March. It's Scholes of Manchester United. Lifts the ball down the left. Nice running from Giggs. Cross comes Skirtle. On to Welbeck. Johnson careful on the edge of the area and takes care of business for Liverpool, but then gives it straight back to Welbeck. In the end, really poor defending from Johnson. Welbeck to Giggs. Giggs from the angle. In it goes. Enrique clears before Valencia can pounce.
He waited and waited and waited, didn't he, Giggs? You know, he was waiting for Rooney and Valencia to try and get into the penalty area. But again, good play. Low cross. Plenty of room. I mean, they're getting as much room and time as they want.
You know, Jan, a lot of people have been saying that it's an indictment of Manchester United that they need to have Scholes and Giggs in the team still. But when you see them play like this, I know, you can understand why they're in there.
When he came back after his retirement, you almost found it impossible to take serious because you think a club the size of Manchester United have to bring out Scholes. But when you see the way he's playing, it's as if he's never been
he's running the game, and with people like Steven Gerrard are in opposition.
Absolutely, and you know, the game lacks players like him, players who can control games. That's one thing he's always been able to do. People criticise his tackling, whatever, but in terms of dictating the game, he is as good as there is, even at 35, 36, whatever, 45, whatever age he is. But he's having a super game.
And the next England manager is going to think about him.
I'll tell you what, international football, he'd be even better suited to, you know.
Especially if it's Harry. No, anyway, Manchester United building down the right-hand side. 2-0 they lead. And Enrique up against Valencia, who's given him quite a hard time today. Sorry, I just missed out the last thing you said.
No, as you said, he's 1 in a million, isn't he, Paul Scholes? Very, very rarely you get players like him.
So it's a goal kick to Liverpool, who have to do something fairly pronto here. Reina to take it. 20 minutes gone in the second half. A completely lifeless first half, really, dominated by events off the pitch before the game and after the game. But United have gone into a 2-0 lead, and at the moment, not a lot of sign that Liverpool are going to turn it round.
No, it's comfortable, isn't it? You know, a lot is always expected of this fixture because of the rivalry, but today Liverpool have not showed up.
Here comes Bellamy, down the Liverpool left, and he's finding Suarez. Suarez with the angle awkward, whip the ball in, and Evra clips it away out of the penalty area, and Rooney's take is brilliant. Fantastic first touch from Rooney. Has to hold things up, and then Gerrard fouls him. I think Gerrard's saying that Rooney made a bit of a meal of that, but Phil Dowd is the referee, who's quite tolerant and quite patient in the game, but he's calling the Liverpool captain over now just to calm things down.
Yeah, I think it's another one of those situations where Rooney wins a free kick for his team. But it was good play by Rooney, great awareness, knew exactly where Gerrard was, turned away from his challenge, and I think Gerrard might just have clipped him.
Approaching the halfway point of the second half. I hope Kenny Dalglish takes a big deep breath before he comes in and does his press interviews after the game. He has to get everything right, really, because there's no question from the neutral point of view here who was the guilty party in terms of creating absolutely the wrong atmosphere going into this match today.
But there's a bigger picture, Mike, isn't it? The performance from the team.
Absolutely.
And the performance from so many of Kenny's summer signings.
Well, he was very strong after the defeat at Bolton recently, and that had an effect, of course, in the cup ties against United and City. Rooney, who's been everywhere in the second half, moving towards the halfway point of it now. Valencia twisting and turning once more against Enrique, and still Valencia, and there's still danger. He just checks on the edge of the area. And Enrique having real problems here against the South American. Now it's been knocked away, and Alan Green, it's all yours through till the end with Jan.
Well, Liverpool have been wretched in the second half, and United fully merit to be 2 goals in front, and they're promising to score more goals, the champions. And that was poor from Scholes, giving the ball away to Suarez. Carroll, who's hardly got into it since he's come on as substitute, finding Kuyt. Kuyt to the left side, and Henderson on to Suarez. Kuyt again. Back to Henderson, and now here's Gerrard left of the centre circle, playing it to Skirtle. Skirtle on to Johnson, 20 yards over the halfway line. Liverpool right, into Kuyt. Kuyt never looked to where he was playing the ball. Carrick should have intercepted it. Kuyt's lucky to get it back. In fact, Kuyt's lucky still to be on the pitch. It's only because, frankly, Downey and Spearing were even left.
There was a number
effective.
he could have replaced Kenny Dalglish, wasn't he? You know, Henderson is not pulling up any trees either, is he?
Skirtle.
Suarez has been poor.
Skirtle overhit that ball. Gerrard chasing away to the far side just to keep it in play. Gerrard hasn't played well.
No, especially in the first half, very wasteful with his passing. In the second half, he hasn't been able to lift his team at all.
Here's Bellamy over the halfway line. Onto Suarez. Suarez to the left side, and Enrique to Bellamy. Liverpool are making no progress though, no territorial progress. Now maybe with Johnson. Johnson on to Kuyt, down the right side, level with the edge of the United penalty. Dinks it through the legs of Giggs, but didn't have the pace to get to the ball. And Scholes, he had the pace.
Yeah, he did have he had the knowledge.
Or the vision, the knowledge.
He knew exactly what was going to happen.
Valencia on the far side of the field. Valencia's influence is increasing as the game wears on. Scholes has always been influential. To Rooney, who scored both goals in the first 5 minutes of the second half, contributed to by poor defending from Johnson and then a mistake by Spearing, but brilliantly taken by Wayne Rooney nevertheless. Goal 21 and 22 of his season.
Two smart finishes, there can be little doubt about that. First one full on the volley, very, very difficult, and the second one composed just through the legs of the goalkeeper.
20 minutes to go. Gerrard to Suarez. Suarez miscontrols it, and now what's
play on?
Free kick.
Yeah, I know.
Suarez.
Pathetic referee. Let's get on with the game.
Right. Okay. Let's get the team news from Goodison. Peter Slater.
2 Chelsea changes. Ashley Cole's back from suspension. Lampard's fit again. Cahill and Malouda make way. Disappointment for Everton. Jelavic has a strained stomach muscle, so can't make his Goodison debut. Phil Neville for Hibbert is their only alteration.
Thanks, Peter. 20 minutes to go here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. Enrique for Liverpool. Back to Henderson, now in a central midfield position alongside Steven Gerrard. Enrique once more. Is the movement up front? Well, there was from Kuyt, but it was a poor ball. United didn't clear it properly, and then Suarez touch, not great. Evans onto Carrick, and Manchester United very dominant now in the game.
Almost showboating, isn't it?
It is.
At will.
Bellamy, though, picks up possession for Liverpool to Carroll. Carroll's return pass was awful. Bellamy's pace got him there, though. Bellamy down the left side, pulls across into the penalty area. Evans with a header clear, and here's Raphael for Manchester United. Clipping it towards Valencia on the far side of the field. Well played, Valencia. Into Rooney, who's on a hat-trick, remember. Rooney surges forward, flicks the ball to the left side to Giggs, approaching the Liverpool penalty, tried to get a low cross in, blocked by Johnson. Johnson runs it clear for Liverpool, keeps it in play on this near side of the field, and then goodness, almost gave it away to Rooney, but found the intended target, Henderson, and now it's with Gerrard, just outside his own penalty area. Enrique. There hasn't been any sign from Liverpool they're going to get a goal back.
No, absolutely not. I mean, their forward play just lacks cutting. You know, they don't see a pass early enough. There's not enough players who can execute a good forward pass. Not a single chance created.
Adam may well come on for the last 18 minutes or so. I mean, if his passing is on form, then he can pick out a player.
Absolutely.
Gerrard to Bellamy.
And I think he is going to come on.
Suarez drops deep. Suarez takes it up. Suarez to Enrique midway inside the United half, and a terrible ball from the fullback. Nowhere near a white shirt, and it's straight out of play for a throw-in. Let's get the Blackburn team news from John Murray.
Well, confirmation that Yakubu comes straight back in after suspension, or makes his full Blackburn debut against his old club, and Formica also comes in for Modeste, Dunn and the suspended Givet. 3 QPR changes as well: Buzaki, Traore and Hall in for Derry, the injured Young and the suspended Cisse.
Blackburn Queen's Park Rangers is our 3 o'clock commentary here on 5 Live. This is the lunchtime game. Manchester United lead Liverpool 2-0. It was 0-0 at half-time, but 2 goals from Wayne Rooney in the first 5 minutes of the second half have given the champions plenty of leeway here. They're going top of the Barclays Premier League tonight, and it'll be up to Manchester City tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock kickoff, away to Aston Villa. You can hear that game too on 5 Live. United now showboated. Carrick to Scholes on the far side of the field, and Liverpool are just static.
Yeah, I find that amazing. I mean, you've got to try and get after the ball.
Liverpool statues as United red shirts come forward. Rooney out to the Liverpool penalty area, beats a defender, courtesy of a deflection, then lays it to Valencia. Valencia knocks it back. Here's Giggs. Giggs in towards Rooney. Welbeck shoots, takes a deflection. Reina with a simple save.
They're playing Barcelona style football now, aren't they, Manchester United? 1 and 2 touches inside areas. Liverpool can't get anywhere near him.
Good throw out by Reina to Kaut, and now to Gerrard, but it's so slow from the visitors. Bellamy to Suarez, back to Gerrard. Kaut and Carroll are through the middle. The ball still back around the halfway line. Skirting, finding Johnson. 16 minutes to go here at Old Trafford. And look, late in the game, look how deep Rooney is. Trying to...
He's doing the job for the team, isn't he?
Just hold out against Liverpool. Not that they're really threatening at the moment.
No, but they don't want to give him a sniff, do they? Because anything can happen. As you say, goals change games.
Yeah, Suarez looked so disaffected out there. That was a loose ball from him. Agger shoots from long range. It was slightly off target. Great power, but off target. And here's Charlie Adam. And it's Dirk Kuyt who'll be making way. So you push Henderson wide again.
Absolutely.
And Adam in alongside Gerrard.
That's what they'll do, Liverpool.
The thing is, the wide players, I excuse Bellamy because I think Bellamy's had an outstanding season. But the wide players do not deliver.
No, they don't deliver any crosses.
So you've got to feel for Andy Carroll. It's all right being critical of the player as a striker, but
I think most people know how you got to play if you got Andy Carroll in your team. Liverpool just don't. They don't get wide men who get to the byline and put in crosses. Therefore, Andy Carroll's ineffective.
Quarter of an hour to go at the moment.
But Liverpool's performance lacked everything, hasn't it? Urgency, energy.
It's a really poor performance by Liverpool. Mind you, it was just a poor first half.
From both teams.
Yep. Now,
but you didn't see what we're seeing now coming in the first half, did you? So it's a dominant display by Manchester United.
They've got a throw on the far side, the champions, who will be desperate to remain champions, because really, with due respect to Spurs, it's between United and City, surely. Suarez got past Evans, but his pass didn't find Carroll. It was intercepted by Ferdinand. Here's Evra finding Giggs. Giggs, well, his pass wasn't great either, but it came off Henderson, and it's now with Scholes inside the centre circle. On to Carrick. Carrick and Scholes have operated really well.
Yeah, they have,
that midfield.
I mean, he always starts the season, doesn't he, being sort of out the picture, Carrick, and then as the season progresses, he finds his way back into the team. He's got a lot of experience. He's a super footballer, and here he is now, being the main man alongside Paul Scholes in midfield. Yeah. And I actually think it's helped his game that Scholes has come back. He knows how to play alongside Paul Scholes in there.
Reina hit the ball in the direction of Carroll, but Carroll was all over the defender and then has the nerve to complain to Phil Dowd.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
You know that he's conceded a free kick.
But you look at Scholes and Carrigan, and what you see is centre midfield players, isn't it? They know their role with and without the ball. And you look at some of Liverpool players and you think, Henderson in the first half, does he actually know the role of a centre midfield player?
Not yet, he doesn't.
No, definitely not yet.
Scholes to Rooney. Rooney on to Evra, the United captain, near side of the field. Back to Rooney. He'll be so anxious to get a third goal, completing his hat-trick. We'll see. He's still got 13 minutes to find that third goal. Evra to Scholes, just over the halfway line. On to Carrick. Carrick, simple pass to Raphael. Equally simple ball back to Carrick. Raphael once more. In towards Welbeck. Welbeck well tackled though by Agger, and it's with Enrique. Enrique really should have found his goalkeeper, but he played it to Bellamy instead, and then Liverpool lose the ball. Inside of play, it's going to be a throw into Manchester United. And Adam threw the ball in some disgust there, and the referee should tick him off about that. Liverpool are frustrated because they're clearly second best.
By a distance.
12 and a half minutes to go here on 5 Live. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0. Evra to Scholes over the halfway line, and to Carrick. United aren't pushing themselves now.
No, they're not at the moment. They just cabbage to keep the ball away from Liverpool. Plenty of possession. They're not looking for the third goal at the moment.
They know they don't need a third goal.
That's right. It's comfortable as it is.
Imagine the circumstances last week. They were 3-0 down shortly. In fact, they were 3-0 down 5 minutes into the second half, and then they responded brilliantly. Liverpool 2-0 down 5 minutes into the second half here, and it been pitiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Evra. Back to Ferdinand. And Ferdinand, just to reiterate, the challenge by Ferdinand on Suarez towards the end of the first half that Suarez was so upset about, and Ferdinand was the last defender. If he had mistimed the challenge, he would have been off.
Oh yeah, there would have been a big decision to make.
He took the ball.
Yeah.
He took the ball. Welbeck trying to win it from Manchester United on the far side of the field, but Enrique's back for Liverpool and playing it to Reina.
I don't think he can believe his luck either, can he, the referee? What a comfortable afternoon he's had.
Yeah. Gerrard giving the ball away again. That just typifies the display overall of his team. Rafael on the far side of the field. Back to Valencia on the United right. To Scholes. Valencia again. Look at Scholes. He gives the ball to a colleague and then he immediately looks for space to run into, so he's available again.
We always talk about Xavi and Iniesta, don't we? But Scholes has got to be up there.
Gerrard to Suarez. Suarez is definitely fouled there by Carrick. And it might even be a yellow card.
Yeah, I think it's one too many from Carrick, isn't it?
Yeah, Carrick is being booked.
He has a tendency to do that, doesn't he? Players just gets away from him and he just nicks them and fouls them, and this time it's a yellow card.
10 minutes to go, but it's oh so comfortable for Manchester United. Look at that police presence inside the the near corner where the Liverpool fans are.
Seldom you see
them. It's like hundreds of police.
Seldom you see Liverpool fans as subdued as they've been today.
They've had nothing to shout about. Adams' free kick, whipped in towards Suarez, comes back off the defender, and Suarez tucked the ball in. It had to be Luis Suarez, of course, and there are 10 minutes left for play. Liverpool have a goal back. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I think it's Rio Ferdinand. It comes off his body and just drops for Luis Suarez, and I think that might be Liverpool's first effort on target in the whole match. Game on.
Can't remember another one. It was a simple finish from Suarez, only a couple of yards from goal.
Poorly dealt with, Manchester United. They had a problem at Chelsea last week as well when David Luiz scored, and again they dealt poorly with a free kick, but it gives Liverpool a bit of hope.
Ferdinand was at fault in terms of not dealing with that free kick from Charlie Adam, so perhaps there are nervous moments ahead for Manchester United. There shouldn't be. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Now, have Liverpool got anything else in the locker? Carrick to the far side of the field, and Rafael onto Valencia, who's had a really good game. Rafael to Carrick onto Scholes, flick past first time towards Rooney. Rooney does well, holding off Agger, and it's played through. Here's Welbeck into the penalty area. Welbeck shoots into the Stratford end.
But again, it's Scholes involved, isn't it? First the lofted pass into Rooney, then the 1-2. And then the disguise pass down the channels for Welbeck. He's away, it's on his left foot. In the end, it's wild and high.
They shouldn't be in this situation.
No, they shouldn't. No, absolutely not. I mean, it's poorly dealt with. The free kick from Charlie Adam into the box. They should have headed it clear. Then Ferdinand's caught half asleep. The chance falls to Suarez. 2-1. Game on.
Here's Adam on the halfway line. When Adam is on form, he can deliver a pass or a free kick. Here he is again. Onto Bellamy in the far side of the field. Back to Enrique. And Manchester United have got everybody back inside their own half at the moment. Enrique tackled by Carrick. Ball squirts out of play, and it's a throw into Liverpool. There's still 8 minutes to go, plus added time at Old Trafford here on 5 Live. Barclays Premier League action. Still to come, the 3 o'clock kick-off. Blackburn against Queen's Park Rangers. Gerrard hits it high towards Carroll. Carroll checks it back. Suarez on the volley, right-footed, blocked by the defender Ferdinand, and it goes away behind. Oh, for a goal kick. A goal kick.
Yeah, he did well though, didn't he? Andy Carroll just got in front of the defender. He's chested it down for Suarez. It's a difficult technique. For some reason, the referee decided that is a goal kick. He must have felt that the volley came off Andy Carroll instead of a block by a Manchester United defender.
I thought it was blocked by Ferdinand, but
yeah, so did I, but he must have felt it came off Andy Carroll.
Yep, must have done. Anyway, it's certainly a goal kick. I think Ferdinand did well there, you know, and it's fortunate that the referee didn't see how well he had done, or else it would have been a Liverpool corner. Nevertheless, time running out for the away side. 7 minutes left at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. The first half was pretty abysmal for two clubs of this quality, two sides of this quality. Here's Carroll heading the ball forward and meeting his own header, and then look at that. Terrible. Simple pass to play to Bellamy. He hits it away from the Welshman.
Yeah,
and
that's all it was. I know he's on his weaker foot, his right foot, isn't it? But it's just a simple pass back to Bellamy.
Throw into United. No hurry to take it. Raphael then throws it towards Rooney. Agger meets it with his head, finds Gerrard, the Liverpool captain. On to Johnson. Back to Gerrard, but played behind the skipper. And that was again just a sloppy pass from an England international. Gerrard did well, drives it deep, looking for Henderson. Henderson tried to half the sighted volley a pass into Carroll, immediately got it wrong, or at least Carroll was running away from it, and is cleared by Manchester United. Then Skirtle knocks it forward again. Referee spotted a late tackle by Johnson and has awarded a free kick.
Yeah, on Evra, wasn't it? Evers played it down the line. Johnson's just come in.
Free kick. Suarez actually threw the ball to Evra. That's as near as it's been to a decent relationship between the pair.
Absolutely, yeah, and this will go on and on and on, won't it?
Though Everett certainly seemed to want to shake.
Yeah, he did, yeah. He was ready to draw Suarez a line under the matter.
Before kick-off.
Disappointing that Suarez didn't do the same.
Well, United waste that situation. Now it's a throw-in to Liverpool. A little over 5 minutes to go here on 5 Live. Skirtle hits it long, looking for Carroll. Carroll chests the ball back and then looks to the referee as if he was fouled by Evans. He wasn't.
You have to be strong in those situations, Andy Carroll.
Rooney finding Raphael onto Valencia on the halfway line, far side of the field. Manchester United right into Carrick and to Scholes in the centre circle. On to Evra. Giggs is available down this left touchline. Giggs now for Manchester United. And no suggestion, as there has been in the past with Scholes when he started the game, of bringing the elderly gent off. He's too influential.
I was just going to say he doesn't want to lose what he's given the team at the moment. Paul Scholes, he's dominating matters in there. He's keeping his composure and he's calm, and Sir Alex won't want to lose that.
Gerrard for Liverpool, inside his own half though, to Adam. Back now to Skirtle, and on to Henderson, now occupating wide right. Henderson to Skirtle again. United seem to be happy for Liverpool to retain possession, provided it's not in the United half. Gerrard to Enrique, who's over the halfway line now. Enrique hitting it long, looking for Henderson. Evra comes. Henderson heads it on. Carroll heads it on too. Suarez in the penalty. The header to Carroll, the flag's up for offside.
Yeah, it's one of those, and he just comes back from an offside position. Suarez flicks it on.
Yeah, he was offside.
Yeah, he was, yeah. No doubt about that one.
Yeah. United not rushing to take the free kick, and who would blame them? 4 minutes to go, and Dalglish in the technical area urging Liverpool forward.
Well, he's just hoping they're going to find one more chance, aren't they, Liverpool?
I can't say that from our perspective that they deserved it.
No, the goal, Liverpool's goal, was totally against the run of play, but it just give you hope. It's poor defending again, which has been the Achilles heel of Manchester United this season.
Throw into United on the far side of the field. They're right, inside the Liverpool half. Raphael throws to Carrick, back to Raphael. On to Scholes. Instant control from Scholes, and immediately plays it to the security of his defence. Ferdinand to Evra. Evra on to Giggs. Giggs now into Welbeck, who's had a really good game overall. Now Scholes again. Scholes is the fulcrum of all that's good about Manchester United today. Scholes again, on towards Valencia, slightly overhit. Agger clears for Liverpool, but only into United's possession again. And Carrick does the sensible thing, finding Scholes. Back to Carrick, Welbeck, Carrick, Scholes again. United just keeping possession, and Liverpool aren't really challenging them. And now there's a mistake by Scholes. Adam takes it up. Adam on to Carroll. Carroll, is he trying to hold... Well, he went down. He thinks he should have a free kick. It was a nonsense move by Carroll, but Liverpool still have the ball. Suarez forward, plays it to the right side, asking an awful lot of Johnson. Johnson does well initially to keep it in play, but he can't, in the end, prevent it trundling over the touchline. It's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United.
Yeah, I think it sums up Suarez's afternoon. Apart from the goal, he's done very little. That was a poor pass out wide for Glenn Johnson.
2 minutes of the 90 remaining, and then we'll have added time.
You still don't get the feeling that Liverpool feel that they can get back into it.
Something's been thrown onto the pitch there. The assistant came onto the pitch and lifted something from the grass. I don't know what it was, but something appeared to have been thrown onto the pitch. Anyway, play now resumes with the Manchester United throw-in. Liverpool win possession. Skirtle heads it forward straight to Scholes, who finds Giggs, and Giggs tackled by Johnson. Ball breaks out of play. Rooney's gone down now. I don't know why. Throw-in taken by Liverpool. They're going to get another one now. They are slightly closer to the Manchester United penalty. There's still time here for Liverpool. No matter how badly they played. United 2, Liverpool 1. Johnson, terrible control. Hits it out of play. Throw in to Manchester United. Evra not rushing. And every time Evra's involved now, particularly from a set piece, he gets a standing ovation from those Manchester United fans nearest him. Inside the final minute of the 90, Evra launches the ball with a throw-in onto the head of Adam, but Adam misdirects his header, only to Carrick. Valencia on the far side of the field. Valencia over the halfway line, then he checks, supported by Raphael and by Scholes. Valencia is under pressure here, but the white shirts can't get the ball off him. He exchanges passes with Raphael, and then Enrique's in there for Liverpool. Winning it for Liverpool, Valencia seems to have fouled Enrique, the fullback, and it's a free kick to Liverpool. Enrique's going to take it. Hits it forward towards Suarez. Suarez maybe should have tried to control it initially. Instead, he allowed it to bounce, and it's hooked out of play by Evans for a throw into Liverpool. Deep inside the Manchester United half. Enrique comes forward. The crowd won't give the ball back initially, but finally Bellamy has it. 6 yards from the corner flag. Into added time, 3 minutes we've got. The additional 3 minutes for Liverpool to try to score a second goal and take a point off the champions. And now they've got a free kick, a rash challenge by Welbeck.
Well, it's one of those, isn't it? It's in a great position. Everybody's going to come forward. Not Pepe Reina, though.
And Adams not going to take this. It's going to be left.
It's an in-swing, isn't it? In towards the goalkeeper.
A foot
Let
in
the
from...
goalkeeper make a decision.
The free kick's a foot in from the left touch line for Liverpool, and Bellamy's right foot is going to swirl it in towards De Gea. Lots of white shirts in the United penalty here. There it goes, and well defended by Raphael. Header clear. Picked up by Johnson. Johnson shoots, tipped over by De Gea. That was goal bound.
That was definitely goal bound. It's a great shot by Johnson on his left foot, as he does so often. He's controlled it with his right. He's come inside Giggs and he's hit it ever so well. Fortunate for Manchester United, it's straight at the goalkeeper.
Corner to Liverpool. Bellamy to take it. And all Liverpool players are forward in attacking position. There it goes, in towards Adam. Headed up in the air by Welbeck. Gerrard, challenged by Valencia. Valencia clears it upfield, but Reina's waiting for it. And Reina knocks it back into the United half from well outside his penalty area. Carroll never left the ground there. Beaten in the air by a tiny right back.
By the smallest man on the field.
But here's Henderson for Liverpool. Henderson crosses in towards Suarez. Headed down and away by Evra. United can counter-attack here. Welbeck to Rooney. Giggs is on the far side of the field. Rooney didn't pick up the pass.
It was a poor pass by Welbeck. It was behind him. Rooney wanted that in front so he could continue his run.
Enrique for Liverpool. Finds Charlie Adam. Adam moving in from the right side. Edge of the penalty area. Curls it in. Suarez heads it over. Offside anyway. Half chance.
He didn't know that, Suarez, did he? That he was going to be offside. Charlie Adams' was right foot. He's in between the defender, Suarez, and it was a chance, but the assistant had his flag up.
I wasn't too convinced by De Gea's challenge for the ball.
I think it was typical the way his season has gone, hasn't it? He's misjudged the cross, but again, it's a correct decision. Absolutely nowhere near that, the goalkeeper.
We're in the third minute of added time.
Liverpool have not capitalised on the goalkeeper this afternoon. They have not put him under any kind of pressure.
De Gea will finally take this goal kick, and we've got about 25 seconds of added time remaining. At the home of the champions Manchester United, who will go top of the Barclays Premier League tonight, should they hold on. A point clear of Manchester City, and they've got the ball inside the Liverpool half. It's with Rooney on the far side of the field. Skirtle tackles him. Rooney wins it back, and Rooney's going to keep it in the corner. That's all he needs to do just play out time. Finally, there's a challenge on Rooney, which is unfair, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, and that should cement the victory.
Eagerness from Martin Skirtle to win the ball. Commits a foul against Wayne Rooney, and this should probably see the end of the game.
Yes, it's just a put in from the corner flag, and no hurry to take it. We've had our 3 minutes of added time. I think as soon as the free kick's taken, the referee will just blow his whistle. We'll see. They wait. Valencia and Rooney. Liverpool players stupidly are within 10 yards. What's the point? They're just delaying the free kick.
Yeah, that's right. And then Aga's telling Enrique, get back, let's get on with the game.
At the Stretford end, and the Liverpool players advance. They've just wasted time. Free kick is taken, and surely we're going to get the final whistle. Not quite yet. It's a corner to Manchester United. Well, I don't know what we're playing on for. There haven't been any stoppages in added time. Or maybe he's adding on time
Fergie's just having a little look at his watch.
By United. Anyway, the corner's taken. There is the final whistle, and Manchester United have a very important win gathered here against Liverpool.
Yeah, they did. They took a time to get going, Manchester United, but in a devastating 5 minutes in the second half, they've scored 2 goals from Wayne Rooney, and in the end you have to say they've done what they've had to do. They've won what is potentially a tricky home game against Liverpool, who's been very, very good away from home this season.
Now, you know, we talk about player behaviour. Evra has just been sort of wandering around the touchline
on his own,
urging on the Manchester United fans.
Yeah, but he also knows
he's in the arms of Ferdinand. I mean,
no need.
Is that in taste? In good taste?
There's absolutely no need. Absolutely no need whatsoever. He's done what he's had to do. He wanted to shake hands. They won the game. Shake hands, get off the pitch, and let's get on with it.
I tell you, there's a lot in this game that has made me want to throw up, frankly. Has made me want to throw up. I'm having to get to my feet because I can't see. I think there's another incident involving Evra, and is it Skirtle?
Well, I saw Pepe Reina sprint 60 yards to get involved. Something has happened, and as much as we spoke before the game about Evra and how well he's behaved, he's now just about to spoil all of that.
Now, I have no idea what's going on in that far left-hand corner. I've had to stand up, but there's so many players involved. It's really untidy.
I think somebody needs to tell Manchester United they won a game, not the league. Get off the pitch. Gerrard is now getting involved. Time to get off.
I want to throw up, frankly. I want to throw up. I said to the producer before kick-off today, well before kick-off, that I couldn't wait for 3 o'clock. I didn't really care about this game because so much felt bad about it beforehand. It's lived up to its bad billing, and it's not what we want to see.
And Emery's now getting a standing ovation walking off the pitch. Incredible.
Well, had enough. But Manchester United have won, and they deserve to win.
Absolutely, very little doubt about that. They were the better team on the day.
Final score, Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, and just one more to you, just to tell everybody what happened there. It was nothing to do with Suarez. He was down the tunnel. Evra was celebrating in front of the Stretford end, it seemed, and then Phil Dowd ran over, I think, to say, OK, enough's enough, get off. And then a couple of Liverpool players came up, but no more than that.
Well, that's good to hear, isn't it, Mark?
No more than that. I mean, Phil Dowd realised what was going on, went over to Evra as if to say, OK, you've had your bit, I think it's time to leave the field now. Nothing whatsoever to do with Suarez. Big win for United, though, with the football that puts the pressure on City tomorrow against Villa, Jan.
Yeah, absolutely, and this was a potential banana skin. Liverpool have been excellent away from home this season. They seem to be a better team away from home, better organised, but today Manchester United with a class above Liverpool, there can be very little doubt that they deserve the 3 points.
Thank you very much indeed, Jan Mulby, Mike Ingham and Alan Green. Some interesting press conferences to come. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1, 2 for Rooney. Suarez with what turned out to be the consolation for Liverpool. Right, before we go around all the grounds, let's get up to date with things away from football. World Indoor Athletics in Sheffield now, and Mike Costello.
Yes, the trials for the World Indoor Championships next month in Turkey, and Jessica Ennis has pronounced herself delighted with her first high jump competition of the year, clearing 1 metre 91 centimetres to win the national indoor title for the 4th time in 6 years. And it's a measure of her focus in looking forward rather than back that at trackside afterwards she had to be reminded that it was here in the high jump last year that she injured her left ankle and had to cut short her indoor season. Still to come for her, the shot put later in the afternoon.
Around all the grounds after the news with Rebecca Pucciello.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Police outside Old Trafford have been seizing a Manchester United supporters fanzine and T-shirts on sale at today's game against Liverpool because both featured what's being called a potentially offensive image. One man's been arrested. It comes after Liverpool striker Luis Suarez refused to shake the hand of Manchester United captain Patrice Evra before the game. 5 senior journalists at the Sun newspaper have been arrested over alleged corrupt payments to police and other public officials. A police officer, a member of the armed forces and a Ministry of Defence employee have also been detained. Thousands of people have gathered in the Greek capital Athens to protest against public spending cuts. The Greek Prime Minister has warned his country faces uncontrolled economic chaos if it fails to pass a key parliamentary vote this weekend on further austerity measures. Labour claims many low-income families where parents work part-time could lose around £4,000 a year from April. That's because of changes to the way working tax credit is calculated. The government says other measures to help those affected have been introduced. And the body of an 18-year-old man has been found in Rawtenstall in East Lancashire. Police say the teenager was found in the street in the early hours and his death is being treated as unexplained.
This week on 5 Live, we'd like you to meet 4 young people. 2 men, 2 women, all looking for work.
I graduated 2 years ago. I've been unemployed now for 6 months.
I've been looking for something to get me onto a career ladder for over a year.
On Wednesday, the latest unemployment figures are released. From 10, Victoria Derbyshire will be hosting a debate in Salford with an audience of 200 5 Live listeners asking where are the jobs of the future being created. And from 4, 5 Live Drive will introduce our 4 job seekers, their stories, challenges and hopes as we follow them on their employment journey. Plus there'll be reaction to the unemployment figures throughout the day. Wednesday on 5 Live.
At 5 o'clock this afternoon, we'll bring you second half commentary of Italy-England in the Six Nations. But right now, we're under 20 minutes away from the big kickoffs in England and Scotland.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Bugach.
And after Manchester United beat Liverpool 2-1 in a spiky encounter at Old Trafford, our attention now switches to the bottom of the table. Mark Hughes returns to Ewood Park with new club QPR and some sympathy for the Blackburn he left behind.
I had a fantastic time there. To see the dissension that seems to be surrounding the place, it's a real shame because in my time there everybody was pulling in the right direction and in the same direction. It must be really difficult for them at the moment.
Full commentary from 3 o'clock. Only 9 miles and 4 points separate Bolton and Roberto Martinez's Wigan, who are bottom.
We are well aware that the games that we got ahead of us now, they are unique opportunities, they are cup finals for us, and we need to replicate what we did last campaign. Nothing new is vital every game that we go into. The points that we're disputing for, they are key to achieve our aim.
Sunderland are the form team, but Arsenal boast the Premier League's form player.
Walcott waits in the penalty area. Coquelin goes on the outside, and Robin van Persie converts the cross. It's a hat-trick for Robin van Persie. He cannot stop scoring goals, and Arsenal are rampant.
Chelsea are at Everton. Promotion surprises Swansea and Norwich meet, and Fulham host Stoke. In the SPL, Rangers win 4-1 at Dunfermline. Now it's Celtic's turn. They're at home to Inverness. And more than 20 games are off this afternoon, so Southampton can take advantage and close the gap on West Ham at the top of the Championship with a win. They host Burnley. All the goals as they go in from 3 o'clock in the English and Scottish leagues. This is Saturday afternoon's 5 Live Sport. So our 3 o'clock game in the Barclays Premier League comes from Ewood Park. Blackburn against QPR. The home side will need to put the 7-1 thrashing at Arsenal last time out of their minds. John Murray is there.
Yes, but if they do bounce back with a win, Blackburn, they will go level on points with QPR and Wolves for that matter. And Steve Keane has left out the January arrival Anthony Modeste. He's brought top scorer Yakubu straight back in after suspension and Formica to play with him. There's also a full and home debut for Bradley Orr against the club he left last month. Givet is out suspended and David Dunn's missing today as well for Blackburn. He's out with a calf injury, we're told. As for QPR, they're without Djibril Cissé after his red card last Saturday, so Bobby Zamora plays as a lone striker here. Buzaki and Traore come into midfield and it's Fitz-Hall in at the back. Derry and the injured Young as well as Cissé are the three to
drop out of the starting lineup from this time last week.
Former Sunderland and Manchester City manager Peter Reid is our summariser alongside John Murray today. You were mentioning a little bit earlier Yakubu and his goals. You picked out a goal he scored against Arsenal at Ewood Park earlier this season, Peter, so a massive boost to have him back for Steve Keane after his suspension.
Yes, like I said, he isn't the most mobile, but he is a finisher, and if they can keep it tight, he's always likely to pop up with a goal, and it looks like that's what he's going to do with Nzonzi in the middle of the park as a holding midfield player. Quite an interesting game, really, and I just think Mark Hughes has been pretty positive in his lineup as well. Tarap is playing, and he was always likely to do something, and like you said, Bobby Zamora, who's... he runs the channels very well, and he can get on the end of things. So it's an interesting encounter this afternoon.
Certainly should be, Peter. Blackburn QPR, our commentary. Bolton against Wigan is big at the bottom as well. A win would take Bolton out of the bottom three. Wigan desperately need to stay in touch with everybody who is above them, Darren Fletcher.
They do. Recent form suggests Bolton are moving in the right direction. They're unbeaten in their last 5 home games. But with regard to Wigan, Mark, you're right. These are becoming desperate times. Winless in 10, 5 points adrift of safety. And for all the praise Roberto Martinez gets for his expansive football, he's got to find a way to win a dogfight. Their recent draw at Everton was their first point of 2012. Martinez makes one change. Alcaraz replaces Stam in defence. Diame's back from the Africa Cup of Nations and he's on the bench. Bolton have opted for strength. Stuyson comes in for Mears at right back, while Davis returns up front alongside Ngog, with Mwamba making way. 3 points today for either team could make all the difference.
So on to Everton, Chelsea. Andre Villas-Boas says, unlike Manchester City, Chelsea won't underestimate Everton. And after several training ground visits this week, Peter Slater, any sign of Roman Abramovich anywhere at Goodison?
Well, no, I haven't seen him. I've seen Frank Lampard Senior. I don't think his involvement goes quite as far as maybe trying to sit on the bench with the manager today, but his presence in Cobham is another reminder to Villas-Boas that Abramovich keeps a closer tab on his club than some owners do. The manager's admitted this week that the title's beyond Chelsea now, but he is boosted today by the return to action of Ashley Cole after suspension and Frank Lampard Jr., who's recovered from a calf injury. Cole's return means a reshuffle in the back four, and Gary Cahill is the man who misses out. Florent Malouda joins him on the bench. As I say, the owner doesn't. And up front, Fernando Torres, 18 games without a goal and still counting. Everton are drawing rather too many matches, and there's further disappointment for them this afternoon in that Nikica Jelavic is denied his Goodison debut with a stomach muscle injury picked up in training. Phil Neville replaces Tony Hibbert, but Stephen Pienaar's back on the ground where he enjoyed his Premier League football before departing for Spurs, and they'll be pleased to see him back.
On to the Stadium of Light next, where Martin O'Neill has got Sunderland riding high, and the new manager will hope that bounce doesn't come to an end against Arsenal. Juliette Farrington is there.
As the magic dust mark continues to fall, and Arsenal haven't won here at the Stadium of Light on their last 3 trips, so the omens are good as far as Sunderland are concerned. It's an Arsenal double, remember, as well, with the FA Cup next week, though. But the way Martin O'Neill's side are playing right now, they'll certainly have the belief to give Arsenal big worries on Wearside. Arsene Wenger making just one change from the side that put 7 past Blackburn last week. Sanya comes in at right back. Coquelin drops to the bench. Sunderland, limited options right now for Martin O'Neill, but with injuries and suspensions, they go with the same side that beat Middlesbrough in the Cup on Wednesday after extra time.
2 promoted clubs in the top half of the table now, Swansea and Norwich, and a first Premier League start for Josh McCracken, potentially Ali Bruce Ball.
That's right, even though he's on loan from Big Flash Chelsea, it's still difficult to get into this Swansea midfield. McCracken gets his chance today because of injury to Joe Allen. He should fit perfectly into the slick Swansea passing machine. Norwich show 3 changes from their victory over Bolton last weekend. They're missing both centre-backs in Zach Whitbread and Daniel Ayala, so Elliot Ward makes a first appearance of the campaign after injuring his knee in pre-season. Russell Martin also comes into the back four. Wes Hoolahan drops to the bench. Elliot Bennett starts. Norwich are 9th. Swansea just behind them, both comfortably clear of the relegation zone. Both have done it in entertaining, enterprising fashion, so we should be in for a decent game in glorious sunshine on the West Wales coast.
Well, Stoke are at Craven Cottage today, where Fulham give a debut to a Russian that they're expecting a great deal from, John Southall.
They are, Mark. His name is Pavel Pogrebniak. He came on the recommendation of both Gus Hiddink and Dick Advocat, and much is expected, as you say, of him. The departure of Bobby Zamora has left a void up front, and they hope that he will fill it. Though his record at Stuttgart this season isn't massively encouraging. He scored scored just once, and that was from the penalty spot. He's one of 4 changes. The other 3, Aaron Hughes replaces the injured Philip Senderos, John Arne Risa's in for Chris Baird, and Brian Ruiz replaces Dixon Atu. As for Stoke, well, their recent form is very poor. Just 1 win in 8 league games, the last coming on the 2nd of January. They need a lift before the visit of Valencia on Thursday night. 4 changes for them as well. Matthew Upson replaces the suspended Robert Huth. Is Palacios for Delap. Etherington comes back for Jermaine Pennant, and Kenwyne Jones partners Peter Crouch up front.
Tottenham Newcastle's a 5:30 game into the Empower Championship. It's Nottingham Forest's first match since the death of their owner Nigel Doughty today. Pat Murphy is at the City Ground for the game with Watford. Pat.
The match programme has Nigel Doughty on the front cover, a giant of a man, 6'6". Unassuming, though, several emotional articles inside. There'll be a minute's applause before kick-off. His widow Lucy and children will be here. But I wonder how many Forest fans are examining their consciences today after the disgraceful scenes here just 4 months ago, when, after Forest had lost at home to Birmingham City, Mr Doughty couldn't go out the door for hours. Such was the bile and anger directed at him. Steve McLaren left that day. Mr Doughty resigned as chairman because, commendably, he said that he'd made a mistake in appointing McLaren. He would never again attended a home Forest match, even though he was expected to pump in another £20 million to keep the club going over the next couple of years, bringing his total outlay to close to £100 million. No wonder one of the scarves outside reception here carries the words, "Thanks £100 million, Nigel." He was a big man in more ways than one, and his legacy after being buried yesterday will linger on here at the City Ground.
That's Pat Murphy at Nottingham Forest, Watford today. Well, with West Ham's game postponed, Southampton can close the gap at the top with a win at home to Burnley. Andy Gillies.
Yeah, Southampton's firm, though, it's been anything but that of promotion hopefuls recently, but with both West Ham and Birmingham inactive today, they're going to want to take advantage and get back on track. Nigel Adkins gives Billy Sharp a start alongside Ricky Lambert as he seeks a solution. Potentially that's the most potent striking combination in the Championship. While at the back, Jos Højfeldt is back alongside Jose Fonte in defence. That's a bit of solidity. Eddie Howe back on the south coast has certainly got Burnley moving in the right direction. The inclusion of Tracy, his only change to his side. Most intriguingly perhaps, Southampton do not have, by choice, a goalkeeper on the bench. You just know what's going to happen, don't you?
We'll keep an eye on that, Andy. Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1 to the tunnel at Old Trafford now. Alistair Yeomans.
Yes, Mark, feelings are still running high down here in the tunnel. Kenny Dalglish has just done his post-match interview with Sky Television, in which he said he wasn't aware that Luis Suarez didn't shake hands with Patrice Evra. The questioning went on. Kenny Dalglish wasn't very happy at all and has gone back to the dressing room. He was due to do a BBC television interview next with Jonathan Pearce. It remains to be seen whether he appears again, but Liverpool not at all happy with the line of questioning there.
OK, thank you very much, Alistair. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Back to the Empower Championship team news. In just over 2 weeks, Cardiff will be in the Carling Cup final against Leicester today. They could break a club record. Rob Nothman's at the King Power Stadium.
Yes, not since 1947 have Cardiff avoided defeat in 10 successive away league games in one season. How I burn the midnight oil to find out that gem. Cardiff lying 4th in the table. They give a first start to Haris Vukic, signed on loan from Newcastle this week. Leicester in 13th have underachieved this season, 8 points off the playoffs. If they're going to start a late season push, they'd better get cracking now. Beckford and Nugent lead the attack. Beckford's red card at Brighton last week was rescinded. Nathan Delfonso on loan from Aston Villa once again starts on the bench.
And of the games still on in League One, Gary Flintoff's made his way to Bramall Lane for Sheffield United against Wycombe.
Yes, with the greatest of respect to Hartlepool and Bournemouth, it's all about the games involving the City of Sheffield clubs this afternoon. Second place Wednesday have made the long trip to Exeter, with United, who have 2 games in hand on their Steel City rivals, at home here to Wycombe Wanderers. Now both teams will be favourites to record victories as they bid to keep up the heat on runaway leaders Charlton. Sheffield United unchanged for this game, 1 change for Wycombe, Danny Foster coming in for the injured Gareth Ainsworth. But one note of caution for both Sheffield clubs. Both Exeter and Wycombe have a trap door to avoid.
Thank you very much, Gary. In the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League at lunchtime, Dunfermline 1, Rangers 4. And so Celtic's lead at the top has been cut. Celtic at home to Inverness at 3 o'clock. A 1-point lead for Celtic now ahead of that home game with Inverness Caledonian Thistle at Celtic Park. Great Britain's doubles team, Ross Hutchins and Colin Fleming, are 2 sets to love up in their Davis Cup rubber against Slovakia. It is 1-1 after yesterday's singles. And Italy-England does go ahead. It's been snowing an awful lot in Rome home today and overnight, but it does go ahead. The first half from 4 o'clock on 5 Live Sports Extra, and we will bring you the second half here on 5 Live Sports. So Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1 at lunchtime. Blackburn Rovers, Queen's Park Rangers now for us. Peter Reid. Peter, I wonder how long you think it will take for Mark Hughes to put his imprint on a QPR team. How long does it take in your experience when you take over at a new club?
Well, I think along with his training staff, I mean, Mark Bowen, Eddie Nisquickie, and I think they're very experienced, you know, and they've been with Mark for a long time. So I think as soon as they come in, they will lay down the principles. And an interesting, I think for me, I don't think we've seen the best of Sean Wright-Phillips since he's been at QPR. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see what Mark Hughes and his training staff will get out of him. And we talked about Yakubu for Blackburn, but Junior Hoylett is a player I like as well. So them two in terms of attacking, I'll be keeping a close eye on this afternoon. Two really offensive players and who can make things happen. Yep,
and a quick word, you would have kept an eye on the second half at Old Trafford. Those two early goals giving Liverpool just too much to do in the end, Peter, to get back and get a point.
Yeah, I think the goals from Liverpool's point of view were really poor defensively. You know, Rooney on the back post, I thought Glenn Johnson was sleeping, and then they give away a ball in the middle of the park. And thankfully we're just talking about football, because to put it bluntly, some of the antics that went on besides the football were very, very childish and immature, and something that we need to get out of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kenny Dalglish has said in this interview with Sky Television that it's severe and bang out of order to blame Suarez for setting the tone to the match with his refusal to take the hand of Evra before kick-off. Peter, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I thought Suarez was really... well, it was ridiculous. I thought it was petty. I thought it was small-minded. He knew the whole of the football world would be on that, and let's set an example. Let's get on about talking about it. We're talking about Suarez and Evra's display at the end of the game when we shouldn't be, and I just thought it was out of order, in my opinion.
We'll get more reaction at half-time to the games, with Manchester United beating Liverpool by 2-1, all the post-match reaction. All the goals as they go in, with Peter alongside John Murray in Lancashire.